Good day, guys, and welcome back to your English Aussie. Sorry for the issues with the stream there. We are set up, ready to go 10 minutes early, which is nice. So today we will be going through Gameweek 20, the press conference updates for all of the teams. We will be going through tactical and statistical observations from last week and currently of all of the players. We will talk through my results from game week 19 up to now 44k. We will also chat through fixture difficulty over the upcoming weeks and sort of talk through what we think the best fixture runs are and the best teams to target. And then we might talk through some chip strategy if you guys are looking to what weeks you're going to be using your chips going forwards. Of course, we will be doing team reviews, so if you do want your team reviewed, please let me know in the chat. Post your team ID down below, and I can then look through your team, discuss any transfers that you'd like to make, and have a chat with you on what you want going forwards. So let me know down below if you're interested in any of that. So we'll kick off with all the press conference updates from this week. So starting off, we've got Liverpool. And Szoboszlai returns from his suspension last week. I would expect him to sort of slot back into that midfield. Been playing really nicely for Liverpool of late. Bradley and Konate have both returned to team training with Liverpool. However, I would expect they're both very unlikely to play. Slot did mention that Trent will start this week. Essentially, the press were asking him questions about rumours of him going to Real Madrid, and whether he's potentially being sold in this January transfer window. What he said he would comment in that he will be starting this week. I think although it seems good business for Liverpool to be selling Trent in this sort of January window, given that otherwise he would be able to leave on a free at the end of the season. Given where they are in the league at the moment and the fact that they haven't been able to win the league in front of their own fans, like other than that COVID year for like 30 odd years, I tried to set the settings like a little bit easier now. So hopefully it will continue to be fine and you shouldn't have any problems going forwards. If you do, just post in the chat if anything drops off. Hopefully we should be up and running now and everything should hold for the future. I will keep checking as we go on just to make sure everything's going alright. But yeah, please let me know if you are having issues. Audio is working, is it, Jonesy? Thanks, mate. Hopefully the video comes back. I think it did sort of come back in last time. Eventually things started to pull themselves together. Yeah, so if we just talk through maybe the press conference updates. Gomez also out for 3 weeks for Liverpool. That sort of means, I think hopefully that video sort of come back now. I'm just checking on I sort of have it running on my phone as a check, so that'd be nice. Yeah, so Gomez out for 3 weeks after picking up an injury in the last game. That should mean that Quansah will be starting this week. I do think that although Konate is back training with the team, I don't expect him to start in this week or the next sort of couple of weeks until he builds back up his fitness. If sort of I missed out what I was talking about before because the stream cut out, essentially Szoboszlai back from suspension, Bradley and Konate are back training with the team, unlikely to play. On Conor Bradley, obviously being the backup right back, Slot did say Trent was likely to start, given that he would be, he's obviously had these rumours linking him to Real Madrid. 3 teams would be great to get your view on my teams, Jonesy. Yeah, sure, mate. If you chuck your team IDs in the chat, you can pull them up on the screen and we can sort of talk through those as we go. I'll keep going through the press conferences for the time being. United, obviously, Fernandes back from suspension. I think that will be key for them. Mountshire and Lindelof are still injured. I do have some things to say about this United game. It's sort of, I have a feeling that it's not that easy a game for Liverpool. Ultimately, United set up very defensively away from home. Frequently set up very defensively away from home. And I just think that they don't they have that way of sort of sitting back and being difficult to break down. I'm not sure how they will go under Amorim, whether they'll try and still have that sort of attacking flow as well. But yeah, I don't think this is as easy a game for Liverpool as it always is. Obviously, Salah seems to score against United frequently, but yeah, I just have a funny feeling that it's not the easiest game. I would say that sold Madison for Kulusevski, Burgess for Robinson. I kept Cunha in the bench. Lewis, yeah, nice. Robinson hopefully should get some results this week. Jonesy 69534112. Let me get your team up now. Should come on screen now. Control, delete. I like that. That's a great team name. On that team, I need to find replacements for Lavia. I have a 5.9 million budget, thinking Iwobi. Alright, so what I've got at the moment, 0 in the bank. Have you made any other transfers this week? 4.5. Jackson down to someone, probably. You've done, haven't you? I bet you have. 5.9. Rodgers in the team, Diaz, Salah, Palmer, Isaac, Watkins. Yeah, so I think in your team at the moment you've got guys who are like little bit minutes risks, i.e. Diaz, Lewis, obviously Keane on the bench that's probably not going to play too frequently for Everton. So I would look to get somebody who you're confident in for minutes wise. Iwobi definitely is somebody that I would be confident in for minutes wise. Around that price point, possibly the only other real options I like is sort of Enzo, Rodgers, Sarr. But I don't think like Palace haven't shown anything lately to be confident in them. So I think probably between Iwobi and Sarr is where you're going. I'd probably go Iwobi. I was talking to somebody recently this week and I said maybe I have overlooked Iwobi a little bit. My view on Iwobi is his finishing's not particularly good. It wasn't particularly good when he was at Arsenal. I don't find it great at Fulham. But his fixtures are really nice, and Fulham really play quite a lot down that left-hand side. The link up between Robinson and Iwobi is where a lot of their attack flows through, especially sort of on their fast transition counters. So yeah, that's where I'd go. Second team, 7365952. Let's pull that up. You got so many teams, mate. If I had this many teams, people would be giving me crap for cheating. No, I'm only joking. Second team. Okay, so look at this: Gabriel, Gvardiol, Lewis, Salah, Rodgers, Foden, Palmer, Gordon, Wood, Jackson, Raul, Jimenez, Robinson, Konsa. Konsa's an interesting one. I haven't seen much on sort of Aston Villa. You got 3. Nice. Which one's winning? Different leagues? Why do you have 3? What do you have them for? Just different leagues, or just different strategies that you're going for? Or just different friendship groups, you're just attacking them differently. This one's 370k. What was your last one, out of interest? 789. Hope you're going up. Next one's going to be 100k. Yeah, I quite like this one. Probably what I'd say is, obviously Sanchez in goal could become a bit of an issue. I'm not sure where Maresca will go this week. I didn't think Jorgensen had a great game for Chelsea, but obviously given you got Lumley on the bench as well, I think your team as a whole, you have bench options. So in this very rare case where it's potential that your goalkeeper doesn't start, I would genuinely consider a goalkeeper transfer, because you could easily go Raul Jimenez against Ipswich this week up front. Obviously Rodgers on the bench, Robinson come in potentially for Lewis, just that Man City sort of riskiness. And then you're playing 3-4-3. Looks pretty nice. You might have to make that Sanchez transfer. I would look. My view is like you want to sort of be transitioning slightly towards the triple Liverpool setup for that double game week. I don't think you here have the funds to go to Alisson, so that would make me probably think Sells or Eleno with the fixtures that are coming up. That's probably what I'd look to do, mate. Just had three to try different ideas. I quite like that. I might create a couple of teams next year just to test some things out. But I'm actually thinking about bench boosting. Gamer Fox, how are you, mate? Good to see you. You're super active in the week in my comments. I love that. It's really good. So nice to see you in the live stream. I'll get your team up next, Gamer. I'm actually thinking I might just create a second team that I don't show anyone, just because I'm thinking of bench boosting in game week 1, getting it out of the way, and then like not worrying about it. I actually think that's could be quite an interesting strat. I have seen someone in like the top 10 in the world that bench boost in game week 1. I have a feeling he has a few teams because his team name is bench boost game week 1. For this team, is this the same? This is the final team, right? 738k. Also Sanchez. You got Sanchez and Fabianski. You a little bit more rotation. I guess that's obviously still an issue. Outside of that, let's have a look. 1.1 mil in the bank. I guess what I would say, given the 1.1 mil in the bank, I like that you got Son, Palmer and Salah, Jacob Murphy. Got some bench rotation. So obviously Robinson in for Timber this week. Van Heck I don't love, and probably João Pedro also. I'd maybe consider a João Pedro up to a Gabriel Jesus. I wonder if you've got the money to make that 1.1 mil. You might just have it. Yeah, I think he's 6.8 unless he's gone up. Jesus. Oh, he's 6.9 now. Yeah. I've done some transfers already on all 3 teams. I don't think it showed on your screen. Yeah, I can't see if you've done them this current week. So let me know if there are any transfers that you've already done on the team, because obviously I can't sort of track that. I can't track that as we're going. I think that's probably my thoughts. I try and get João Pedro up to a Jesus. If you can't quite do it this week, your other option is you can go maybe to a Chris Wood, a little bit cheaper. But I feel like that's quite a... Yeah, Gamer, I'll get you now, mate. I'll go on to you. I'd think about that, or Van Heck to maybe like a Milenkovic. But I almost think your defence is fine, mate. You can almost go Van Heck down to a Greaves, and then like João Pedro up to Jesus next week or something. Jonesy, let me come back to your team one in a sec, mate. Let me just do Gamer, and I'll come back and look at team one again with your comments. All right, Gamer, Ice Fox. What we got? Sells in goal. Aino, Young, Robinson. Have you made any transfers so far this week, Gamer? Just so I know and I can work from that. Otherwise, is there anything you're looking to do, or just looking for a little bit of advice on what you're after? I'd say, looking at your team already, those 3 guys on the bench definitely are going to need some looking at. And you've obviously got Cunha as well. So Becker and Sells is a very expensive goalkeeper rotation. But obviously both great goalkeepers. Used your free hit this week. Oh, you used your free hit this week. So you want to see like a free hit team Is that what you want to look at? Like I did that last week for someone. We can just go through like maybe a free hit, like what sort of free hit team I would do this week. Right, let's do that for you, mate. I'll put together what I think is like ideal team for the week. Probably the fixtures that I'd be looking to target. Liverpool, even though like I think Man United will set up defensively. From a defensive standpoint, obviously Bournemouth, so I'd probably go in there with like a Kirkes. Potentially either double down with them, or what I do like is a Quansah at 3.9 for Liverpool. So I think United are unlikely to score, but I think they might make it difficult for Liverpool. So I think like that probably looks good in the defence, and then we'll just stick someone in like a Greaves at 3.9 just as the fodder. In the midfield, the attacking ways, like you kind of have Spurs and Newcastle, there could be goals in that game. Again, like Villa, Leicester, but I'm just concerned about like Villa without Rodgers in that sort of like progressive carry transition role in the midfield. I think without him, they might struggle a little bit. So I'm sort of going to avoid that. City v West Ham. If you are on free hit this week, maybe you can consider even going to an Erling Haaland. We might have a look at that in a second. And then from a Liverpool perspective, you maybe discuss whether you want to go double defence or if you want to go into like a Luis Diaz. For now, maybe we go like I think we can go like an Anthony Gordon. Brentford have got Southampton, so I'd like to say that Brian Mbeumo is probably a nice shout, even though they are away from home. Like Brentford's home form, also like you've got to say that they haven't like a lot of the tough teams they've played away, which is why the home and away disparity is so big this year. And like you can see, if I just quickly show you, Gamer, on this table, you see Brentford in the table at the moment. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Brentford, if you look at like a home and away table, just chalk and cheese. Look at that, 22 points at home, 2 points away. But that's also because they obviously have played a lot of the big teams away from home. Like second half of the season away from home, they now have Southampton, Palace, West Ham, Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves. Like they have all those guys away from home second half. So you have Aina, Trent, Robinson, Sal, Bueno, Palmer, Luis, Diaz for my free hit so far. All right, so if you want to go, sorry, this is the wrong one. If you want to go Luis Diaz, then we take Quansah out of there and go Luis Diaz. I like that. That is probably a bigger upside. Bumo, Palmer, Luis. You got to think like obviously like who are you going to play? Like you're obviously only going to play if you're going to play 4 or 5 in midfield. I think if you play this 5 in midfield, you're obviously only going to play 2 up front. Up front, you either target Wood against Everton, but I think Everton are nice defensively, or you can also target maybe even Erling Haaland here. I think that's what I'd look at. And you got 7.83 spots. Maybe that is too expensive. All right, maybe let's not go Erling Haaland. Maybe let's go. Maybe let's go for Watkins. Watkins or Raul Jimenez. Nice fixture against Ipswich. They're going to concede some goals. And then you realistically, like you can have someone cheap as your other option. You think Wood is playing Wolves? Sorry, yeah, Wood is playing Wolves, not Everton. Yeah, Wolves with that Cunha. It's a nice game, but it's like who are you going to play? Like you don't need to put the money in there. Yeah, Wolves without Kenyon. I like Sells in goal. For that. 3 at the back. Probably the 3 you're going to play. Maybe you can add someone like Aina or Milenkovic. Probably prefer Milenkovic as a shout. Good off corners. Aina, he actually doesn't. I know he scored 2 goals, but unless Forest go to their 3-4-3 with the wing backs, which they could do, I prefer Milenkovic. So just for the case that they do go 3-4-3 against these guys, and I think they might. Like if Mario's fit, they might do that. Obviously, like they were gonna do that last week, but Mario got injured in the warm-up, so they weren't able to do it. So he is fit this week, just FYI. And then yeah, you can have Wood up top. Like I think just in case someone doesn't play, I think that's roughly where I'd go, mate. And I'd probably start Hodgson or Kirkes, and then Aina Trent. 5 here, and to be honest, I'd probably start Jimenez and Isak and leave Wood on the bench. That's probably what I'd do, and leave probably one of the 2 Bournemouths and Wood on the bench, or play both Bournemouth, leave Aina on the bench. You've already got Sells in goal. Yeah, so those. I think that's probably your option for your free hit this week, mate. All right. Jonesy, team 1. Let me go back to you, mate. 7365952. Hopefully that's helpful, gamer. Let me know if you got any more questions. Yeah, team 1 now. Raya. Oh, you got Raya in goal. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, so you don't need to make that goalkeeper transfer in it. That's not the Guardiola, Lewis. Iwobi, yeah, okay. Iwobi, Diaz, Salah. Well, this is like totally changed. It's team 1. Diaz, Salah, Palmer, Isak, Watkins, Wood. I took a 4-point hit swapping in Iwobi in for Labia. Wait, am I on the wrong team then? This isn't team 1. Sorry, it's the wrong team. 6953412. Thinking of playing 3-4-3. Yeah, you can do that, gamer. I don't hate that. I think perhaps leave Gordon on the bench then. In that case, get Diaz, Salah, Palmer, and Bumo. I think they're the big hitters. Gordon normally like ticks along a little bit rather than being a big hitter. Lavia out for Iwobi, yeah, and then who's the other transfer that you made here? Isak, Watkins, Wood, Jackson out for Wood. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that team's fine. Like going forwards, just think about how much is Michael Keane? Is he 4 mil? Yeah, I'd probably move Lewis. I'd move on from Rico Lewis. I finally moved on from him last week. This move to like, I don't know what you've got in the bank now, but maybe you can move to like a Milenkovic. Wouldn't I add Robinson because he's got a lot of assists? In the free hit this week? I don't know, man. I think there's better defensive fixtures this week. You probably, if you're free hitting, you probably want to target the games where you think you get a clean sheet. I think Ipswich can score. Who would I choose as vice captain? Isak this week. I would choose Isak this week as my vice. I think that fixture against Spurs is a really nice fixture. Sorry, some DMs coming in. Yeah, I'd go. I like Salah cap, Isak vice cap, 0 in bank. Yeah, okay. What's Lewis now? 4.6. I wouldn't like the double Fulham. Like, I wouldn't like to go to a Castagna. Like your other option, which I don't particularly like, is thinking about towards that double game week, maybe going down to a Mikalenko, like Everton will have to. But like the reason I don't like that is I think that in that double game week, Liverpool should batter Everton, and then it's just like having him for one game. He'll just get like 1 point, maybe 0 points. So I think maybe roll a transfer, try and get some money in to the team before you do that. Perhaps it will be moving on from Guardiola instead of Lewis. Maybe it's moving from both. I don't see really a way of you freeing up funds in that team. Like everything's sort of like Iwobi's going to stay, Robinson's going to stay, Wood, Watkins, Isak. The only other one is Watkins. That's one to consider going forwards. Do you think Cole Palmer is worth dropping to get value out of the squad? This is something I've been really considering recently, actually. Sorry, Dre, thoughts on Jackson out for Gakpo? No, I'd keep Jackson, to be honest. I think like moving Jackson out is like just not. I don't agree with it. Like I think Jackson's been getting in some great positions for Chelsea over the last few game weeks. I know he got dropped for last week, but Maresca basically said he was going to make big changes last week, and Kunku didn't look particularly good in that team. Yeah, I think Jackson's probably still going to get 70 minutes a game, but I think Chelsea are still a good attacking side. They've had a couple of bad games. But I wouldn't move Jackson. I think Jackson's a nice pick still. Even for Gakpo, who's been in great form for Liverpool, and I think started 6 of the last 7 game weeks or something. But for me, Jota's getting back to fitness now. Once he builds up his time, gets back to fitness and is able to start again, then that is where Gakpo is going to find it more difficult starting every game in the league. He might still do it, but I'd imagine he'd rotate a little bit more with Luis Diaz. At the moment, obviously, Diaz can start in the 9 and rotate with Darwin while Gakpo's playing really well. But when Jota comes back, there's going to be more rotation, so I wouldn't do that for me, Tree. Jonesy, on Cole Palmer, it's definitely something I've been considering recently, is actually, do I just sack him off? But I just think he has that potential to be really explosive in certain game weeks. And it's been clear that teams have started coming up with game plans to sort of man-mark Palmer. In a lot of games this season, since Arsenal did it with, I think it's Thomas Partey that they just man-marked Palmer with. A lot of teams have adopted that to sort of try and get him less involved in the Chelsea's gameplay, and that has allowed Enzo to become a lot more involved, and that's why Maresca's sort of been pushing him on and on, because Palmer's been trying to move that sort of defensive midfielder out of the way. But yeah, I just think he does have that explosive potential. That there have been some teams where they haven't put that man marker on Palmer. He's managed to get in those gaps, and really some of the games he's been unlucky to not get big returns in. So I wouldn't move on from him. My take on Phil Foden, I think when he plays in the attacking midfield role for City, the teams that have played against City lately have basically played a really narrow box midfield, 4 or in Aston Villa's case it was basically a 6-man midfield, all really narrow, and just funneled all of City's play out wide. And back in previous Guardiola days, his wingers would be utilised quite a lot more and be super high, and also sometimes inside the 18-yard box. But at the moment, their wingers is not being particularly great. And you saw him move Foden out to that right-hand side, which obviously again, for me, reduces his output. I think even in the middle, he hasn't got a lot of output because they've played the box. But on the right-hand side, he's actually just not that. I don't find him as effective. I do think he picks up some nicer positions. Maybe to be honest, maybe I'll go back on that a little bit. I think on the right-hand side, he probably has a little bit better better potential based off the way that teams have set up defensively against Man City, which is really narrow. And I think with Savinho on the left for Man City, that's a lot better for them, because when he takes on his man, he goes down the wing. Whereas when he was playing on the right, when he took on his man, he'd come inside and he'd close the space to Foden, and Foden just wouldn't have that space to work in. You could see him getting visibly frustrated in games with Savinho dribbling inside rather than passing the ball. So like with that De Bruyne Foden mixture, De Bruyne sometimes drifts out to the right, allows Foden to try and get into the box and stuff. I think he has a little bit better options, but yeah, I'm not particularly big on him. I think City's like best like a way to score is to get down the flank and cut the ball back into the box to an arriving De Bruyne, to an arriving Haaland, to an arriving Foden. So I don't love him. I don't love him particularly. Play Hall or Enzo's Evo Star. Eves. Tough one. Well, what's the rest of your team? I would play Hall if you also have Jackson and Palmer in your team. Yeah, otherwise I'd like to see a team because I'd like to play both of them really. But I'd probably play Enzo. Over Hall if you don't have Jackson and Palmer. What's my view on Son? I think Son's a good pick. I just think he's expensive. And yeah, it just depends on what your other players are. Like, for example, if you had Isak and a Wood and a João Pedro, you can probably fit Son in your team in that midfield. I don't know what his price is. While I'm answering these questions, let me leave my press conference stuff up there. We'll run through stuff. Yeah, what's Son's price at the moment? I haven't really looked at it. 9.9, so it's not too far away from Foden. On pens, I don't think he's going to come off pens just because he missed that one. I think he's a real threat for Spurs. And also, like, Brennan Johnson had a good. I know I've been like slandering Brennan Johnson, but he had a really good game for Spurs. And I think when both wings are more of a threat for Spurs, Son has a little bit more about him. I think he's a totally fine option. Like, I've just sort of the way my team's set up doesn't really have a route into him easily, especially with Trent now that I've got at the back. But if you don't have a Trent, or you maybe don't have a Watkins or a Jackson, I think Son's a good option. Honestly, yeah, I think he's a good option. Definitely someone I'd consider. Probably the only route into him and Kulusevski, maybe only routes into the Spurs midfield. Probably Son, most explosive option as well, is what I'd say. Yves, let me know what the rest of your team is, or like who else is on your bench. Like, I would probably say play Enzo over Hall, but if you have Palmer and Jackson, play Hall. Can I get your view on this team with the transfers I've done? Sanchez, Gabriel, Trent, Hall, Robinson, Salah, Son, Palmer, Murphy, Isak and Wood. Isak and Wood. Who's the other striker? 4-4-2. Oh, that's just what you're playing. Isak and Wood, I like. Murphy, I like all of that. That's a great team. I like it. It's very close to like what I would consider an optimal team at the moment. Like, I don't like Sanchez in goal, but that's like the goalkeepers these days. Like, could be anybody. Like, I got Ramsdale in goal. I don't like that either. But I'm thinking of moving towards Alisson for Gameweek 24-25 when that double is. I'm trying to structure my team to take some money out, move towards Alisson. You're playing 4 defenders this week. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might be playing 4 defenders this week just because of how things are set. If I flick over to my team, yeah, I think I'm playing 3 defenders this week, but literally I have nobody on the bench. I had to take a -4 to bring in Mbumo for Bowen because I didn't have 11 starting players, which was a pain. But defenders: Gabriel, TA, Milenkovic, Hall and VDB. Fair enough, I'd start Gabriel, Trent and Milenkovic. Fair enough. I mean, Gabriel versus Hall. Attacking potential for both is probably quite similar. Just maybe Arsenal better defensively. Yeah. Would I risk João Pedro against Arsenal? Brighton are going to take it to them. Brighton are not going to sit back. I think Gabriel Jesus is actually a really nice shout this week. Brighton are not going to sit back. They're going to press high and they're going to put Arsenal under some pressure. So yeah, if Arsenal feel comfortable passing that ball out of defence, they've got no Timber as well this week, so he's suspended for them. So yeah, I think he's fine. I think João Pedro's fine. It just depends what else you've got. I would generally prefer starting attackers if the defenders have a risk of not picking up a clean sheet, just because I think there's a higher upside. But sometimes it varies depending on if the defender is like maybe like a Trent with, you know, that potential for more of upside. I mean, for me doesn't even have that big an upside. So yeah. Do you have Palmer but no Jackson? Yeah, then I'd start Enzo over Hall, Eves. I think Enzo's a really great option. Like, he's actually legitimately, I was deciding between him and Mbeumo this week to bring in for Bowen, and I only chose Mbeumo because he's on penalties. Really, I think the fixtures for both are really nice, all the way up to 28, 29, which is really like what I'm looking to get my team to. Like, I'd like to get through to like 29, free hit probably in 29 maybe, or free hit in 34, like whichever one of those blank game weeks. Yeah, so I'm going to build my team towards those sort of game weeks. I have choice Robinson in defence or João Pedro up front. Yeah, I think that's a tough one. It's been difficult lately because teams have been changing their formations a lot. Like Ipswich have gone to a 5-4-1. Fulham have played like sometimes like Robinson's playing like left wing, honestly, in like a 3-4-3. And like teams have started to change their tactics quite a bit frequently. So I'm finding it a little bit harder to pick the nice fixtures and where I think like it's clear that it's optimal, because sometimes it's like, well, maybe Robinson goes back into that back four. Go with your gut. Robinson and João Pedro. My gut tells me I can see a post Nils, just that one. Haven't seen any others. Drew will get to you in a sec, mate. My gut would tell me to go João Pedro because I think Ipswich will score. But honestly, like, go for what you believe with that one. Like, I think that's really 50-50. Start Kudus or Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis, and the reason being is not only are West Ham without Jared Bowen, West Ham are really poor in transition. They're very bad defensively in transition, but they also don't particularly counter-attack very quickly. I think they've got more of a chance of counter-attacking quickly given that Souček's back, because they can like flick it up to him and he can nod it on. But Man City obviously poor defensively in transition, but West Ham, other than Kudus, don't really have anyone to do that. I wonder whether they'll play Kudus on the right and Somerville on the left and just give themselves a bit more pace in transition. But I can actually see Man City keeping a clean sheet in that game, for sure. Do you have Guardiola as well, though, Dre? If you have Guardiola as well, don't start both of them. Definitely start Kudus over Lewis. Cause yeah, it's a bit tough. Bryce, hey mate, how are you going? Good to see you again. Need some help. Should I sell Canate for TAA or sell Safa and Boomo/Gordon? Something's not working on YouTube since I went away from premium. Sent earlier, massive value, great ranking. You're well ahead of me now. Haha, Niels, did I get ahead of you, mate? That's nice. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Bryce, what's the rest of your team, mate? Do you have team ID? Can I pull it up on the screen? Like, honestly, like, Kanate's probably going to miss maybe 2 more game weeks. If I look, let's have a look. Just (15th of Jan). Like, he could be back. I think 3 max. I think he misses 3 more max. Kanate. He's back training with Liverpool. Like, he's back training now. If I give my team idea in 2 minutes, right? Yeah, no worries. You can honestly hold all of those players. I do like the fact that you're thinking of selling Saar, because I actually think Saar's not the greatest. What team do I follow? I know I'm wearing a Crystal Palace shirt today, so it's a bit confusing. I've tried not to give away what team I support. I'm not a Palace fan. Palace were my local team. Well, actually, Charlton Athletic are my local team. Back when I used to live in England. Palace are like... Sorry, Charlton. Palace are my local good team. I used to go to Selhurst Park quite regularly. My brother's a season ticket holder there now as well. And also why I think Palace is probably the best atmosphere in any of the stadiums in the Premier League that I've been to. I was talking, I think, last week about how the guy beats the drum, like the heartbeat of Selhurst Park, and he just beats the drum for 90 minutes. He just rests at half time. It's absolutely incredible. Like sitting in with the fanatics in there was the best experience in any Premier League game for sure. Do I watch the A-League? No, man, the A-League sucks. I watch Sydney games sometimes. I'm just mostly in the pub with some mates, but man, A-League's not great. Not great. I mean, I reckon I could get fit and play in the A-League. It's that poor. And that's not me saying I'm good. That is generally saying the A-League is poor. Some good players though. There are some good players in there. I've got to admit, some good players, but yeah, generally I don't enjoy watching it much. Yeah, so let me run through the press conference updates. I haven't had a chance to really get through too much of them. I guess you guys have seen most of this now. Not too much to talk through from Fulham. Ipswich, Chaplin also injured in midfield. Probably the latest update. Obviously, we talked through Liverpool earlier. Aston Villa. Rodgers is obviously suspended for the one game, which is going to cause Villa some issues in transition. They're very good generally in transition. Matters in the A-League. Yeah, Matters, I think he's Western Sydney. Plays for Western Sydney. Maybe I should go and watch some of it. I don't really go to watch live games, to be honest. Maybe I should go and watch Western Sydney Wanderers and a bit of Juan Mata. That would be pretty interesting. I think he's not done that much this year. I think he's got like one goal and maybe a couple of assists. Cold War, start 3. Lewis, I'll get to your team ID in a sec, mate. Start 3 of JP Hall, Ahmad Colwell. JP Hall, Colwell. Ahmad v Liverpool, not going to score. No chance. Lewis, let's get your team up on the screen, mate, and we'll run through it. Cold War, mate, if you want your team, like if you want me to actually do a team review, post your team ID down below, and like I'm doing for Lewis now, I will do for you. If I'm helpful, please sub to the channel, give us a like. If you guys are enjoying so far, give us a sub if you haven't. I know most of you are subscribers at the moment. Bryce will get on to you after this, mate. Lewis, nice, mate. You're going well so far. 233k. What is there anything you're looking to do? Looks like you got 1 save transfers, probably 2 transfers this week, unless you've made any moves already. I think obviously Cunha's the glaring one here. Potentially look to move 3.3 mil in the bank as well. Damn. Oh, your defence is like struggling, eh? Look to bring in a defender, mate. That's probably. Oh, actually, so on the bench this week you're going to have Timber, Cunha, and like Burgess or Greaves. Greaves is starting to play now. With Burgess there, he'll probably carry on. So you have Cunha, Timber, Burgess on the bench. You've also got Maddison, who's a bit of a minute's risk. So Greaves, Aina and Mikalenko as your starting defenders is pretty tough. I'd look to probably move Burgess. You got 3.3 mil in the bank. Where I'd go is probably Robinson. That's probably my first choice defender at the moment with Fulham's game fixtures. They've got Ipswich, West Ham, Leicester over the next 3. They're really nice games. Robinson's been playing super attacking for them. So I'd say Burgess to Robinson. Oh, that's what you've already done. Burgess to Robinson. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. And Maddison to Kulusevski. Bro, that's probably going to talk about Maddison next. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I like that. So then you're going to end up playing, what, 4-4-2 with Cunha out? You have Aina, Mikolenko, Greaves, and Robinson. Mbumo, Palmer, Salah, Kulusevski, Isak Wood. Oh, you got a man on the bench as well. Well, you probably have to play Ahmad there. Over. Do you? You probably have to play him over Greaves. Reluctantly, but I would play him over Greaves. 3-5-2? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Greaves on the bench with Timber and Cunha. Yeah, I think I'd do the same. That's probably what I'd do. And then obviously going forwards, just some thoughts. I think considering you got Mikolenko, that's kind of fine. You've also got the issue of Sanchez and Fabianski in goal. Bro's wearing a Palace shirt and I'm asking to sell Sar. That's right, mate, I'm not a Palace fan. Sell it. I'd sell it. Let me get down to you guys. Tony, also, if you want your team review, post in the chat, and Bryce, I'm coming to you, mate. Sorry, just give me a sec. Sanchez and Fabianski, Lewis, is probably the other thing that I'd look at. Potentially Jorgensen starts again this week. I know he didn't have a great game week for Chelsea, but I mean, honestly, if he starts again, that's definitely something that you've got to have a look at next week. I'm almost saying don't take the -4 because if Sanchez plays, it won't be worth it. But I think just like you've obviously made your 2 transfers this week, go with your 3-5-2. Next week, if Sanchez is benched again, that's probably a priority transfer to move him. And then after that, I'd look at possibly an Ahmad to a Rodgers, and possibly a Cunha to a Gabriel Jesus. But I don't mind keeping Cunha if he's fit. So that's sort of a wait and see. Tune into my deadline stream for the press conference updates. Is it good if I transfer Sanchez for Sellers? Yeah, I think that's a nice transfer, the goalkeeper transfer. I'd also consider moving to Alisson, like Liverpool, obviously with the double game week coming up, would be nice. They also have pretty nice fixtures. United, Forest, Brentford, Ipswich, Bournemouth, Wolves is not too bad from a defensive standpoint up to there. So yeah, if you have the money to that, definitely could look at him up to Alisson. But I think for this week, just if you don't have any more free transfers, you just keep going, look for next week, hope Sanchez plays. Like my gut says he isn't going to play, but I can't tell with Maresca's change. Bryce, let me get to you, mate. Let's put your team in. 1, 2, 6, 5, 9, 9, 6. And your question was, oh yeah, I'm selling Sar. Yeah, selling Sar, selling Kanai. All right, let's have a look. So this week, Robinson, Gabriel, Hull, fine. Palmer, Salah, Enzo, Sar, Bruno. Nice. Cunha, Isak, JP. Yeah, look, I don't think it's priority to sell Sar from that team. I think you could easily play Bruno this week in a back 4. Or you're going to play 3-5-2 with Isak and João Pedro, I guess, with Cunha out. You've also got the Sanchez Fabianski dilemma. Wow, looks like a bunch. Also, like to think about, Fabianski will probably be back. So Lopetegui said he has the concussion protocol, which is 10 days. They need to be out for. So I think, yeah, by next game week, he's probably likely to be back in the team. So also for you, Lewis, maybe you don't have to look at moving Sanchez out next week if Fabianski's going to playing for West Ham. But yeah, I mean, obviously something to consider down the future, but it might not be the first move you have to make. Finish this morning, mate. Yeah, subscribers are climbing, hoping to get to 900 this week. We're on about, I don't know, 880, something like that, 875. Yeah, guys, if you can sub and give us a like, that would be really appreciated. Yeah, Yeah, I think Canate, maybe it's worth moving. Maybe it's worth moving. I do think he'll be back in 2 to 3 game weeks. Don't think you're... Yeah, it'd be nice to have one defensive cover. I'd probably say that's more of a priority than moving Sarr on. I don't love Sarr as a pick. Just because Palace have not really shown anything to... I think Sarr's my favourite pick out of all the Palace players. Let's put it that way. I think out of the attacking Palace players, he's probably my favourite pick out of all of them. I'd say Munoz. Just because Palace tend to put him up into the right wing position, sometimes invert him into a 10 and attacking midfield. I was talking to my brother about this the other day. He's a diehard Palace fan. So yeah, I'd probably say Sarr's probably not a priority to come out at the moment. I'd maybe move Canate, but also like you're playing 3 defenders this week, so it's more of a discussion for what you're going to be. These 3 are going to play 5 in the midfield. Have you made a transfer this week, Bryce? If you haven't, I don't mind it. I don't mind moving Sarr to... I'd probably go... I went Gordon over Mbeumo last week, but then this week, well, I obviously had Arsenal, so that was part of my thinking. Mbeumo, Gordon, I think they're equal. I couldn't pick. I'd probably just go Mbeumo. I'd probably just go Mbeumo for pens. But it's hard because Newcastle great form, so I don't mind it. An attacking option. Was looking to buy Trent for Canate. I don't love Trent over the next 3 game weeks. United, Forest, Brentford. I'd definitely get him in for 23 against Ipswich, and then the double in 24 or 25. So I think if I was looking for Trent, I'd make a priority of getting him in by 23. But over the next 3 weeks, I don't think he's a priority transfer. My transfer of Trent in this week, and I'll say that I did make that move, is purely because the upside for him scares me that other people have, and it was a bit of a I don't know if I'm that happy about making the transfer. It's a bit of a defensive transfer. I don't know how I feel about it. But I also wanted, the way I'm structuring my team at the moment, he was going up in price. I got him in before he went up in price. Who would I play Trent for if I buy him? Would you? Probably for Hull, mate. I'd play him for Hull. Well, no, do you know what? I'd probably play him for... Probably play 4 at the back. Play him for Sarr. 4-4-2. 4-4-2. I like Hull. Alright, where am I? I should start looking at my own FPL league for subscribers. I was thinking about that, but then what's the point in creating one now, midway through the season? If you guys think I should, then I'll create a league and I'll put it in my videos in midweek, and I'll give you guys the code and you can join. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll start the league up. But I haven't done it so far. Did I miss any comments? Where would I say it's gone wrong for Manchester United? What would I improve? Their players are shit. Players are shit, mate. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Honestly, I think Amrin just needs a little bit of time. He needs a summer. They need to get better players. I just don't think they have any good players. I think they're a mid-table team. I think they're a mid-table team. I don't think anything's gone wrong for them. I think they're a mid-table team. I don't think they have good players. They don't have energy in that midfield. That's another one. They need... if you watch my videos midweek, I was talking about the high energy teams, the midfielders with a lot of legs and running, like the Liverpools, the Newcastles, even Brighton, for example, Brentford, for example. Those teams that have all done well or overachieved have all got players in the midfield that have a lot of legs. The teams that have underachieved this year, Man United, Man City, West Ham, all have problems in transition. All have problems legs in the midfield. They're not able to keep up with the other teams. They need that sort of pace and energy in the midfield. So that's probably what I'd say. I think that's a big thing in the Premier League this year. if you see the teams that are doing better, are the teams that have a lot more pace and energy in the midfield, or are able to like rotate them off after 60 and bring on other people. Tony, hi mate, you're welcome for whatever I helped you with. Is it good, Lewis? Is it good if I transfer Sanchez? Oh, we talked about that. Sanchez sells it. I might talk about mad for Elanga or Gibbs White, but I don't know which one to pick. I'd probably pick Elanga over Gibbs White. I just think the form he's been in recently, both like minutes 60, 70 maybe. Like I mean, obviously Gibbs White is more likely to start every game, but I think Elanga's got better upside. Bryce was looking to buy Trent for Kanate. Yeah, we talked about that. I think for 23 for sure. Finners, morning, go. Good to see you as well, mate. Thanks for that. Thanks for that thumbnail. I'll probably try and again next week. I'll do one of each again. Like I think the click-through rate was a little bit lower on that thumbnail, but I'll give it another run and I'll see how it goes again. I thought it was nice, really clean. I really appreciate you putting that time in for me, mate. And I'll run with it next week. I'll do the same thing again. I'll do like one, I think buy, sell, hold. I'll do the thumbnail I've been doing, and the tactics and stats I'll do the other one, or maybe I do it the other way around. I'll have a think about it. Appreciate you as always, mate. Who's more important this week, Hall or Robinson? I'd play Robinson. I'd play Robinson just because I think more clean sheet potential. But I think from an attacking standpoint, I think Hall, despite Robinson's like left wing role, Hall is just insane on set pieces, on corners, gets into touches in the box and stuff like that. Spurs with weak defence, like attacking. I'd say Hall trumps Robinson. Defensively, obviously Ipswich, I'd say Robinson trumps Hall. So I think it's depending on which one you think is better. Like I would say they're very close, but I'd probably go Robinson. I'd look at Munoz. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't think Palace have shown us anything defensively to say they're going to keep a bunch of clean sheets. I like Munoz from an attacking perspective for Palace. I think like Palace obviously sometimes play him on the right wing when they're chasing games. They invert him into the 10 when they're chasing games. My brother was actually telling me Munoz should be someone that you look at, but like Palace defensively don't thrill me at the moment. I don't think they've shown us that much. No transfers made, bro. Who would I buy? Who would I play Trent for if I buy him? Yeah, okay. Did you, Bryce? No worries, mate. All good. Fact, what would change this week, my boy? 122 1300 Finners. Let's go, mate. Planning to watch any of the matches this weekend, Jonesy? Yeah, I'll probably. I'll definitely watch Spurs Newcastle tonight. And then I'm not playing sport tomorrow for once. I've got a week off, so I might watch the late game. I might watch the later games. We'll see. Otherwise, like Optus do 25-minute highlights, which basically show you most of the game. Like I tend to watch like 25-minute highlights on Optus, look through the games, and then any games that like maybe like Liverpool are playing or something like that, I sometimes watch the full matches. But yeah, pretty good. Cold War, put my team ID above. Sorry, mate, did I miss you? No, you haven't put it in the chat, mate. I haven't seen it, Cold War. Not in the chat. Can you re-put it in there, mate? And I will I will do it in a sec. Finish. Oh yeah, Trent, Robbo, Gabriel, lovely. Mikalenko on the bench, lovely. McNeil, yeah, we talked about this before, didn't we? McNeil, Ahmad, Maddison, Salah, Palmer. Yeah, that midfield, mate. That's what we got to focus on. 2.4 in the bank. Have you made any transfers this week, Finners? You brought in Gordon from Madders. Yeah, perfect. That's nice. So 3-4-3. You're going to be playing 4-4-2 then with Cunha out. Yeah, I think obviously think about Cunha, whether you want to keep him over this Wolves run. He's obviously been great for owners, so I can imagine you'd struggle to let him go. But yeah, his fixtures have come, like his good fixtures have come to an end. So I would consider just Jesus or Wood. I actually have Jesus slightly higher than Wood at the moment, and that's just because if I show you my team attacking fixture difficulty rating, this is my own difficulty ratings that I do, and in the future when I do like, I don't know, when I get a big subscriber base and I do like Patreon or something like that, I'll probably like make this available to everyone. But I think if there are some of you guys now, just ping me, just email me or message me. I can send you stuff. So yeah, like look at this Arsenal fixture list: like Brighton, Tottenham, Villa, Wolves, City, Leicester, West Ham. Like from an attacking perspective, and like this City one I've got in orange as mine still, just because my thoughts are that Man City. But realistically, that's probably like a grey or a green fixture at the moment. They've been so poor. Then lucky clean sheet last week. So I like those Jesus fixtures. And Wood, like, yeah, they're nice like every other game week, and obviously like Wood's the focal point for Forest. So I think both of them. I don't think anyone's worth a -4, mate. I don't think any of them are worth a -4. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I think you're fine for this week. Don't make any more transfers. If you've done your transfers this week, I think your team looks fine. You're playing 3-5-2. Are you? No McNeil. 4-4-2. Let's go with. Oh, so Mikalenko or Greaves is probably your question. Mikalenko. 4-4-2, Mikalenko, Greaves, McNeil, Cunha on the bench. Crown, I'll come to you as well, mate. I am seeing everyone's chats. I'm just going through. Luca, hey mate, welcome back. Good to see ya. Wish will probably score a hat-trick today and no one own him. Wisher is fixture proof, mate. Wisher is fixture proof. Unbelievable footballing IQ. If you just watch him, and you like football or you know football, he is so good at picking up positions. Positionally, one of the most aware players ever. When Tony used to be in the team, he still used to be getting in positions and scoring goals from midfield. Awesome. You brought him in this week, Whistler. Man, dope. That's great, Luca. I hope he goes well for you. I'm probably going to bring in Mbumo and make sure I don't forget to make that transfer before the deadline comes up. But I was just sort of waiting a little bit for any, I don't know what I was waiting for, like fixtures being called off or random stuff like that. The areas Hall was getting into last week was nuts. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, I agree, man. Like he had like 3 or 4 shots. I know some of them were blocked, but he was shooting a goal. He was on set pieces. He was on corners. He was overlapping, underlapping. Obviously overlapping quite a lot, which was really nice for Gordon as well, because then Gordon was able to cut inside on his right foot quite frequently. Yeah, I was so impressed with Hall. Like I was watching that Newcastle game, like I've got all 3 of them in my team, getting pissed off at Sandro Tonali for missing from 1 yard after Gordon gave it to him. And I was thinking about you guys, like how people had brought in Gordon and stuff, and like for Bowen, obviously great call last week, wasn't it, Luca, to get rid of him? Because now look at him, he's done for a month with a fractured foot, although Lopetegui reckons he'll be back in like 3 days. He's a liar. He just chats rubbish. Ferrari61, hey mate, is it looking like any games will be postponed? Yeah, I don't think so. Like to be honest, like I don't know what the weather is like in the UK. I saw the warnings, like I read some of the stuff on that. Ultimately, if there's going to be a game that's going to get called off, based off the weather warnings, it was like Northern England from like Sundays. This is obviously Aussie times, but it'd be Liverpool United, and like no one's going to move anybody based off that. So try and have some bench cover if you can. I know that this week's a little bit difficult for it, but yeah, try and have some bench cover if you can. Brought in Gordon from. How's Australia 2 live compared to the UK? In terms of watching the games, Jonesy, man, it kind of sucks to be honest. Like UK is so much better at watching live football. Like I used to be in the pub with mates, like, and also you can. I shouldn't be saying this live on stream. Hopefully my mum's not watching. But like you can bet and play in the UK. You can't do it in Australia. So like sometimes you're having a beer with your mates. You're like, I remember being like, back in the day, I was like, Hazard's going to score next, man. Like you just got to know. You just got to know. And I'm like, stick like 10 quid on it, 8-1. Hazard runs through the team, scores. I'm jumping up, like absolutely mental. Yeah, just more fun. Like these sort of times at night, it's a bit more difficult to organise with your mates. Like other than like, there's a bar in I'm in Sydney, so there's a bar in town hall called Cheers Bar where all the Liverpool fans converge for the late night Liverpool games. There's not too many places that you can go out to watch like late at night the footy. But admittedly, sometimes it is epic. Like, for example, for the World Cup, you're in the casino late at night, but yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same as being in England, honestly. Like, not the same. Swap Ahmad for Elanga or Gibbs White. Elanga for me, Lewis. I think it's just Ferrari team ID. Yes, mate. Sorry, let me get you up on screen. Good to see you as well, mate. Good to see a few return viewers. 698406. If any of you are not return viewers, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get up to 900 subscribers. I think we're on about 880 at the moment. What am I missing? Tony, I will get to you shortly, and Luca, I will do you as well. Don't know if we transfer all Burgess strings. Don't have much else to do. Ethan, love it, mate. Love it. Neil's Newcastle news. I'm going to look at that immediately after this team review. Do I like the move you made this week? Cunha to Wissa, I didn't want Wood. Yeah, I like it. I probably would have gone Jesus, as I was talking about, for fixture difficulty, but yeah, I love Wissa as an option. I love it. And also, like Brentford, if you don't have Mbumo, their fixture run, really nice. Really nice. But I'll get to you in a sec, Luca, after I do Ferrari. Ralph Coops, Hendo Munoz, double Palace, interesting. Timber Rogers, Cunha all out this week. Ooh, tough for you. You made 3 transfers last week, so you obviously don't have. You've got 1 free transfer this week. Midfield, nice. Foden, Palmer, Salah, Bruno. You're going to start them all. Isaac, JP. You're going to have to start. And you got Rogers on the bench. Cunha out. Yeah, I mean, like honestly, again, like same sort of thoughts for you, Ferrari. Think about moving Cunha. Like if you're gonna move Cunha in the future, move him this week. Get another attacker in so you can play 3-4-3. Move him for again like Wissa, Wood, Jesus. And yeah, I like. If I'm honest, having Luca made that move, I'd probably like Wissa and Jesus over Wood. However, I would also like to get Mbumo back. So if I had Mbumo, I wouldn't want Mbumo and Wissa. I just wouldn't want to double up. I don't know. I mean, you could double up on Brentford easily. They've got really nice fixtures coming up. But that's probably what I'd look at for Cunha as a move. It's nice to have more attacking players in your team. So if I was you, I'd move Cunha. I think his fixtures are like not that nice coming up. I'd move Cunha to one of those 3 strikers this week. That would be my transfer. And then I'd play. Who have Brentford got? Southampton. I'd play Vandenberg. But yeah, so team news. What? Oh, sorry, mate. I don't have you up on screen, do I? I've got the wrong screen showing. Sorry, Ferrari. Yeah, this is you, mate. Yeah, looking at your team, like I said, I think Cunha's the one to get 3 up front, and then you can play Foden, Palmer, Salah, Bruno, and then you can play Isaac, JP, and like a Wissa, Wood, or Jesus. 0.1 in the bank. You've obviously got the money. You'll be downgrading a Cunha to any of those. And then Munoz, Gabriel, you're obviously going to play, and then I'd probably go Vandenberg. And I did in my team news for Brentford, as I will chuck on screen. Vandenberg available this week. That was per the Thomas Frank press conference. Jensen and Vandenberg back available. So yeah, I'd probably start Vandenberg over Greaves, given they've got Southampton, and Southampton look poor offensively. Yeah, those would probably be my thoughts for you, Ferrari. Let me know if that was helpful, mate, or if you've got anything further you want to talk through. Yeah, do I like the move Cunha to Wissa? Yes, I do, Luca. A reason being, sorry guys, I know I'm a bit behind the comments, but yeah, it's good. You guys have got lots of comments for me. Yeah, look at this fixture run for Brentford. From like, if you look at 23 on here, 23 all the way to 29 is like pretty nice. Like Southampton, Man City also pretty nice. Liverpool obviously the tricky game there, but really from 20 to 26, like that's a nice run. Like I really like that. And if you look at Woods in the same time, yeah, he has some nice fixtures, but he also has some tough fixtures. Like Liverpool not so easy, Southampton improving, Bournemouth not so easy at all, Fulham not so easy at all, Newcastle, then Arsenal like up to 27. Like that's not easy at all for Wood. Obviously he's the focal point of that attack, but so is Wissa. So I think I like your move. I probably prefer it, to be honest. I think nice move. Crown, can I please help start one of Ahmad, Colwell and Mikalenko? That's actually difficult. Probably not Ahmad. Mikalenko. Don't know if anyone else would ever say that, but I think Mikalenko. It was close between Mikalenko and Colwell for me, but I don't think Mikalenko's got any attacking returns in him either. Who do I prefer? I don't know. I feel like Palace can score against Chelsea. I feel like Palace can definitely score against Chelsea. Tony, you're up, mate. Let me get you up on screen. 1644862. Here you go. Tony, anything you're looking to do this week? You look like you've got 2 safe transfers. That'll probably be 3 for this week. I don't know if you said above if there was anything you're looking to do. No, I didn't see anything. All right, let's just talk through then. Obviously, you've got Rodgers and Timber out this week. Hall comes in for Timber. Colwell and Mikalenko. Hold Bellis on the bench. Haaland. Bro, Haaland. Captain Haaland. If you got him, you got a captain. Got a captain him. Bro, that's mad. Love it, Tony, man. I love it. I love to see different teams. This is like what I'm about. Enzo Palmer, Salah, Thomas Partey. Is that Thomas Partey? Dope. He's got 5-1-5 in the next few weeks. That is crazy. Play João Pedro. Salah, Enzo, Palmer. Man, you got to move Thomas. You can't afford to, hey. I see why you have him now. It's because you got this monster. It's because you've got this monster here. Yeah, I think you got a downgrade to upgrade. Oh, that's tough, man. How can you downgrade any of these players? Castagna, bringing Castagna for probably for Colwell. Gets you at least 0.3. Then you got 0.4 mil maybe to upgrade Thomas Partey. 5.4. There isn't really anyone. Alright, given that you've got Haaland, let me put out a really rogue option for you. Sell Palmer. Go with the Haaland and Salah draft. Go down to like Brian and Bumo. Upgrade Thomas Partey to that will get you like 4 mil. Upgrade Thomas Partey to like Gordon. I don't want to be too. Maybe even like Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy can come in for Thomas Partey full stop, and you can keep Palmer. Jacob Murphy for Thomas Partey. Downgrade Colwell to Castagna, and you're good. I think you're good. And then you're playing Castagna, Mikalenko, Hall this week, and then you've got Enzo, Murphy, Palmer, Salah, Haaland, Isaac, João Pedro. I think that's nice. And you've still got one. Then you'll have 2 free transfers next week. If you really want to go rogue, drop Palmer. Drop Palmer, upgrade somewhere else. Like, you could do it, man. I know he's explosive, but like with a team like that where you're going differential with Haaland, like you could back Haaland over Palmer and captain Haaland. If Haaland's outscoring Palmer at that stage, you're winning. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think Jacob Murphy and Castagna I would bring in. And then yeah, roll that 2 free transfers for next week, and then go for like potentially move Palmer. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful, Gamma. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, Carlos Castagna is what you were thinking. Yeah, nice. João Pedro to Raul, 2 transfers, maybe do Jacob Murphy, Thomas Partey. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I actually didn't read what your transfers were, but yeah, it looks like we're in the same boat. I think save that João Pedro to Raul. I think save it. Like, I don't think it's 100% necessary. I think it'd be nice for you to have 2 free transfers to consider like an up-down switch in the future. Because you don't have that much in the bank, if you're going to want to make a transfer, it's generally going to have to be 2. Ethan done a luxury transfer of Virgil to Trent. I don't have much else to do. You're living the dream, mate. Not all of us have that sort of luxury. Luca, can I have another look at your team? Of course, mate. Neil, has anyone heard any Newcastle news about Gordon not training? You can't gamble in Australia. You can gamble in Australia, but you can't bet in play. You can bet before the game starts, and if the game starts, you have to call them up to bet and play. And like by the time, like say, like you sit on the phone on hold, and you be like, "Can I have these odds?" And like flipping, I remember in the World Cup, I called up like France had gone 1-0 down. And I was like, France are not going to lose to like some rubbish team, and I was literally like calling them up to be like, France are going to win or to equalise. By the time I got through to them, it was like France had already scored, and I was fuming. So yeah, bet and play doesn't really exist here. You can't bet on your phone and play without calling. It's like legislation, which is a bit annoying. It's actually good for like degenerate gamblers, but it's a bit annoying for just like casual, just cheeky bet with your mates, which is nice. Sorry, Luca, I'm coming to you. I'm just like changing the light. I'm just getting my Oracle lighting on. My brother's giving me some feedback on what he thinks the Palace result's going to be. Let's see what he has to say. He doesn't know that he's going to be talked about on live stream. Let's have a look. What have you got out? This is a Palace diehard. He's got Sarr and Munoz mainly because our fixtures are good, but he's expecting Chelsea to bounce back and win 2-1 or 3-1. But his heart says we can get the win. Don't listen to his heart. His heart knows nothing. His heart is just a Palace fan. Hughes out injured, Chalobah ineligible, so Doucouré will start in centre mid. Doesn't seem fit yet. Richards will start at the back, which might disrupt us a bit. There you go, Chelsea thinkers, thinking that they might be a little bit disrupted at the back with Doucouré in the middle and Chalobah out because he's ineligible to face the parent club this week. Luca, sorry mate, let's get to your team. I know there's tons of comments going, "Ask your brother if Sarr will score today." I'll text him. My live stream chat want to know. Want to know if Sarr will score. Also, tune in. He never watches me. I found out that wasn't him in the chat the other day. We just had the same name. Alright, Luca. You used 1 transfers this week. Do Cunha to Wissa. 3 free transfers next week. Yeah, nice. 3 free transfers next week. Thinking Son and Flecken to Bruno and Henderson. Bruno. I don't think you need 2 rotating goalies. Has it worked for you so far this season, having 2 4.5 mils? And like, are you going to double up on Palace like in their good fixtures? Because I wouldn't be that confident of them keeping clean sheets. I don't know. They haven't shown me anything. Like everyone's been banging on about Palace, but like they haven't really shown me anything to show they can keep clean sheets consistently. So I don't know if I'd be ready for double Palace yet. I think you can hold on to that one. Flecken's back as well this week. If you were worried, he started last week actually for Brentford, didn't he? What else have you said? Yeah, I'm also confident in Isak vice captain as well, a little bit. Yeah, other thoughts for your team? Who did you say Son to? Sorry, I have to scroll down to see the chat, so if you guys are like saying shit, sometimes I miss it. Son to Bruno. Son to Bruno. Are you trusting United? United, good fixtures from 21. Do have good fixtures from 21. But Spurs also have some nice fixtures from 22. Everton, Leicester, Brentford, United, Ipswich. I don't mind that move, Son to Bruno. I think you can hold fire on the Flecken one. I think your defence is obviously nice. You don't have anything to... And then maybe João Pedro is your thought. Like, obviously you've got Ipswich next week. You can even roll next week, man. You got a nice team. Kepa's fixtures turn to poo, yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. But like, have a think about going to Alisson in the future. Like, are you going to triple up at Liverpool for the double game week? Like, why don't you just think about moving to Alisson? That's what I'm planning to do. So maybe I'm like projecting my own thoughts on you, but like I'm thinking of in the Liverpool triple up. I'm probably not going to go into the triple up in midfield because I don't think any of them are going to play both games in a double game week. So I'm probably going to go Alisson and Trent and Salah. So just something to consider. Oh, yeah, I don't mind that Flecken move. I know what you're saying about Bournemouth having shambles fixtures. They only really get nice again from 25. But then, can Brentford cover you till then? Brentford, Southampton, Man City, not really. Not really. Yeah, Brentford, Bournemouth both suck. I'd almost get rid of Flecken over... Yeah, you're getting rid of Flecken. Yeah, you are. Yeah. You're looking at other Son replacements, but none stood out. There aren't that many great options. I spent a really long time looking at what I thought were best options. And obviously I had Mbeumo, Gordon, and like at the time I was thinking Foden, but I'm less and less thinking him. And then really my next best option was Enzo. Like I like Enzo. I think Enzo's a really nice pick. Rodgers and then Enzo, sorry. That's probably my top four in my midfield. Yeah, I like Bruno. Looking at their fixtures now, I haven't really thought about him too much because he was a bit too expensive for my team. But yeah, I like the fixtures. I think that's a good Son replacement. And yeah, if I was to move from Flecken, what are West Ham's fixtures? Can they cover? You could go to Fabianski. Try and rotate to 25. It's not great. It's just, I don't know, it feels like keeper transfers never work out. I think I'd try and hold on to those free transfers. They might come in useful. Don't use them just because you've got them. I think that's my thought, mate. Sorry, I need to get through some of these comments, so let's keep moving through. Any Newcastle news about Gordon not training? Neil's, let's get back to that later. We'll have a look through after we get through this stuff. Is it bad if I captain Isak? Ethan, no, mate. I think Isak's a really great shout this week. But Newcastle have got Spurs anyway, so don't worry about it as a United fan. Newcastle smoked United last week. Yeah, if Liverpool game gets called. I don't think any games will get called off though. Thoughts of Murphy, Jonesy? I like Murphy. Like I said, great energy in that Newcastle midfield at 5 mil, superb option. I liked Gordon better for minutes, so I slightly prefer Gordon. But yeah, I mean, Murphy's nice if you don't already have Gordon and you can't afford him. I think he's a good option in that Newcastle midfield. Ethan, I feel like he's actually a great option on paper. Our defence is depleted, it's very risky because Salazar will be very high. Yeah, I agree. What do you make of using data such as XG to base player transfers on? Look, I think statistics are useful, and obviously I have my I do show expected goals and assists, but you have to take into consideration some things like I spoke about Trent earlier season. His expected goals and assists were inflated, and you also have to think about defenders' expected goals and assists. Defenders that are on set pieces or corners, they're always going to be inflated. And you also just have to look a little bit more with. I think you use statistics, but you have to also use them with a tactical lens. That's what I say about Raptor. I actually like Raptor. I don't know, but I like him as a guy. I think he talks really well, but he's so statistical based and doesn't think about football. I think if he included a little bit more tactical stuff into his team, Raptor, shout out, do a podcast with me, and I'll do the tactical side. I think that would really help his ranks and teams, because he's really focused on stats, and stats are great, but you have to look at them. They differ from maybe teams are set up differently at the beginning of the season. Now teams set up differently now, or I hate the clean sheet odds. The clean sheet odds are probably some of the worst things I've ever seen, because where are they pulling that data from is my question. They pull data from prior history. All teams are different this year. When you're clean sheet odds, you need to just be looking at how the team set up tactically against each other, how you think they're going to set up, what form they've been in this season. It's absolutely nothing to do with the data. Nothing to do with the data. It's so it's just, don't ever listen to clean sheet odds. They're just useless. Yeah, okay, it gives you a little bit of an idea, but anyone that watches football will know that Liverpool versus Ipswich is probably it's a good chance Liverpool might keep a clean sheet, right? You don't need a clean sheet odds to tell you what percentage they're going to be. You need some tactical thoughts around how teams set up to understand those sort of things. So I like stats, and I look at them for people that maybe create a bunch of opportunities and stuff like that. But actually, what I use for statistics, and I wonder whether I can pull it up on screen somewhere, and I'll show you what I use. It's called fb.ref, and it's quite nice because it gives you a bunch of interesting stats. But it'll give you your non-penalty expected goals, all of that stuff. Yeah, I can get it on screen. This is what I use. It's called fbref.com, and this I normally filter by non-penalty. This is what I use for my statistical data. I pull the data off here. I have it load through an Excel spreadsheet and then populate my PowerPoint automatically. So I just refresh this data every week after the games. But yeah, you can see non-penalty expected goals and assists, but you can also see progressive carries, progressive passes, progressive runs, and this is sort of showing what I'd expect to see with these sort of things are teams that are fast in transition, counter, Fulham's and Nottingham Forest's, Liverpool's, Newcastle's, the high energy teams. Maybe if we showed, I don't know, something like progressive passes, look at who the highest players are. Kulusevski, you can see from the way he plays at Tottenham, he's always someone that's pushing the pace up the field. Here you can see Adoy, Iwobi, those are the sort of guys for Fulham and Nottingham Forest on the counter attacks. Brighton Mitoma, obviously that's his game style. I'm slightly surprised to see Jeremy Doku on there, to be honest, but he obviously has a run, and Savio, to be honest. I'm surprised to see the City, because I think City are a little bit slower. I don't think they're very good at being fast moving. Anyway, let's get back to the chat, because those are sort of my views on statistics. I don't want to go into it too long, but yeah, use them. They're useful to give you an idea of what players get into those positions or create a lot of chances. But obviously think about like how players are positioned, like what they're how they're playing in their teams this year. For example, like Trent and stuff, and why his stats don't always tell the whole story. Gamma the GOAT, drop Party and Enzo. Yeah, that's what I was saying, I think. Any reason not to vice captain Palmer this week? Not according to my brother. Oh, let's see if he replied to that message. If Chelsea play a high line, then yes, Mateta will dominate their centre-backs, but Chelsea will hurt us so badly on transitions with their pace. That's good feedback from him. I like that. I think if Mateta's going to dominate their centre-backs, then like that does actually bode well for Sarr, because if he's able to hold the ball up, then Sarr's the one who runs on behind Mateta. So he's kind of the guy that, if Mateta can hold it back, Mateta can either lay it off to Eze, who hits that ball through to Sarr, or he can sort of spin and look to pass on. And I do see like Palace, like if Palace play a little bit more direct into Mateta, yeah, they could cause them some problems, given that Chelsea are going to play obviously that like super high line. So there you go, Bryce, mate. Definitely could score, Sarr, says my brother. Any reason not to vice captain Palmer this week? No, I don't think so, mate. Like I just like that Newcastle v Spurs. Look, just the way I've seen teams set up again. I think I said this earlier. The way I see teams set up against Chelsea, a lot of teams tend to man mark Palmer, and I feel like that's been, if I was the manager of the teams, that's sort of been like the most sensible option for me against Chelsea and where they've struggled the most. And also if they have two holding midfielders, so one can man mark Palmer, the other can sort of work on Enzo getting up there. Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't seen that much from Palace to see them looking great defensively. I don't mind vice captaining Palmer. Ultimately, I think Salah's going to play. I think captaincy, despite anything that I think about that Man United game being a little bit more difficult for Liverpool than people think, like how can you not captain Salah at the moment? You just can't. You can't go against him. Nick, welcome to the stream, mate. You cheated me out of head-to-head last week by stealing a look at my team before time. Nick beat me by 1 point. Oh no, it wasn't like, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah, last week I got 104, great week. But yeah, you're still a scumbag. You're still a scumbag. Still a scumbag. But I'll still answer your questions because I like you. Shrink, Gabriel, Kirkes, Mazraoui, Harvard, Bellis. Want to get Mazraoui out for someone? Any recommendation? Robinson would be my first choice, mate. Robinson would be my first choice. Probably followed by Hall. But just because of Fulham's fixtures, Robinson would be my first choice. If I'm honest, I'd really like to see how Fulham go this week against Ipswich. Like what formation they play, where Robinson plays. That would help me make a decision between Robinson and Hall. At this moment in time, I'm going to say I prefer Robinson, just because of their fixture runs and how high he's playing. But after watching this week, I think they're very close, Robinson and Hall. Depending on how Fulham set up, will help me understand how they're looking to set up in future against other teams. I'll shout that out in our tactical observations next week for you guys, so make sure you watch, and then I'll tell you who I think's better. But honestly, this week I'd go Robinson if I was picking. Munoz, as I've spoken about, I don't think Palace have shown me anything defensively. He has great attacking perspective, obviously, Munoz for Palace, but I'm looking for both. I'm looking for both. Luke, I was looking at other options for some replacement non stood out yet. Wood expensive now. Kentaro, hey man, good to see ya. Another way, Munoz, Collins, and Bruno Iwobi play three. Good problem to have. Collins, Bruno Iwobi, bench Munoz. Chelsea will score. Like I tried having Henderson the start of the season for his crackfish and he blanked every week, then brought in Kepa from one go. Yeah, mate, I did the same thing. I had Henderson at the start, then I went to Flecken, and now I'm at Ramsdale because I was like, screw the system. I'm just gonna go rogue. Honestly, no one can ever pick those 4.5 million goalkeepers. If they say they can, they're liars. It just never works out. Never works out. I never get them right. I think I'm just going to pick a good defensive team like Nottingham Forest next time. Just go for Sells. He'll randomly keep me some clean sheets. Do you listen to any FPL podcasts or watch any other FPL channels? I do. I do watch a lot of them. Yeah. I'm interested to see what they say. There's actually a few that I think watch my content and steal some of the stuff I say. But I won't name names. I don't think that's fair. Because definitely, like, that's fine if they want to do that. It's alright. It's just interesting because there's stuff that I've said that I've not seen from any other like content creators. But yeah, never mind. Look, I think lots of good content creators, and I think like everyone has their own like good stuff about them. Like I like to think that I cover a broad range of spectrum. Like I cover the statistical side and the tactical side, which I don't think anybody else does. And also being a small streamer, it's a lot easier for me to answer all you guys' questions. Could you please put the data link in your pinned message? Yeah, sure, Niels. Let me do that right now. Oh, I don't know how, I can't edit the message. I'll just post down below. I will post down below. Won't be the pinned one. But yeah, you should definitely use this. Like I like to use a lot of free sites. I don't use Fantasy Football Hub. I'm against, like, everyone just like says use Fantasy Football Hub because you get 50% of the money for everybody that signs up. That's why all the content creators ask you to do it. I like to use the free stuff. Have I missed anything? No. I posted below now, Niels, that link. Rate my team, Will, hey mate, and get XXL. I'm not captaining Palmer over Isak. Let me talk. Isak. Actually, Isak is actually my vice captain. This graphic is slightly wrong. Sorry, Will, rate your team. Sales, Castagna, Trent, Gabriel, Gordon, Bumo, Salah, Palmer, Wood, Isak, Raul. Yeah, mate, I love it. That's great. It's a great team. Nothing that I would change. Very lucky to have a team that looks like that. That is like where I'd like to get to. I'd say Raul Jimenez is someone that you obviously have to have a think about minutes-wise over the upcoming weeks. If he's getting the minutes and getting the starts. Obviously you got Rodrigo Muniz. He might scare you a little bit. Rodgers, yeah, I love your team. That's basically the exact team that I want. Only difference is I'd want Alisson in goal and Robinson for Castagna, and probably Hall for Munoz. But much of a much if you've got these guys. I'm happy with those guys. I wouldn't change your team, Will. It's great. Who would you swap Timber for long term? Gabriel. I'd much rather have Gabriel than Timber. I had Gabriel, and when he got injured, and there was a week where I had only 11 playing players, and I had one free transfer, and we weren't sure whether Gabriel was going to start, and I just transferred him to Timber, and then he started. I definitely lost out because of that, but it is what it is, man. I don't regret the move. If he hadn't have started, I would have lost out anyway, so I'd rather Timber to Gabriel is probably, if I ever have the chance for that luxury transfer, which looks unlikely, I'll probably make it. At Jonesy, I'd look at Liverpool defender or Munoz. Can't remember. Yeah, okay. Why are you captaining Palmer over Isak? I'm 50-50. I'm captaining Salah. You can't go away from Mo Salah at the moment. My vice captain on Isak, just because of as someone who's looked at Chelsea play, how I would set up defensively against Chelsea to make Palmer less effective would be to man mark him, and I think that's been the most effective way to make him less effective. Whereas Isak,
I don't think anyone's got something like that. They haven't really worked anything like that out for him yet. And he's also involved in the Newcastle build-up play. It's not like he's just a goal scorer. He drops, gets the ball, picks up, runs with it, passes it. Like, he can pick up assists as well. And Spurs just, like, sorry, Luca, shambles at the moment defensively. And Udogi's out as well this week, so yeah, not for me, that Spurs defence. I'm looking to target that this week. Did you like my bench from last week? That was me who replied on X. Honestly, I can't remember. Like, honestly, some of the X stuff, it's hard to keep up. I mostly am on oh my god, that was you. Yeah, damn. João Pedro, Hall and Greaves. That's tough. I didn't tell you to bench those people, did I? I'm sure I would have told you to play Hall. No way I would have said that. No way I would have said that. Who did you bench for this week? It's got to be between Munoz, JP again, and I've got Hall, but I'm 100% starting him. Yeah, I'd definitely start Hall. I'd bench Munoz. I'd play JP again. And he'll get another assist off his butt, probably. How long have I lived in Australia? Coming up to 7 years now, I've been here. Hopefully I've still got my English accent. The English people say I've got a dodgy Aussie twang, and the Aussie people say I sound English. So I'm not accepted anywhere these days. Just on YouTube. Just on YouTube. Who are the top 5 defenders in the game? Gabriel, Robinson, Hall would be my top 3, and then everyone else, probably. And like really, like the next one's like one of the Nottingham Forest guys, like Milenkovic, Einar, and probably Munoz. But I would say my top 3 are definitely Gabriel. Sorry, and Trent from 23. Trent from 23. Yeah, so Gabriel, Hall, Robinson, Trent then at 4, and then everybody else. So like 5, and that would be like, everybody else would be like Munoz, Gvardiol, Milenkovic, Einar. Taranguna, hey bro, how you going? Boss Arlil, should I advise Captain Chris Wood over Palmer for VC if Salah game gets cancelled? No. It's the easy option. No, don't do that. Palmer's got a potential to be exploited. Also, the Liverpool game is probably not going to get cancelled. Is this wildcard team? You want a wildcard team? I actually have one. I did one just in case someone asked this question. This would be my wildcard team. But after discussion today, Wood would actually go to Witter. Having had this discussion today, I don't know, Witter and Mbumo now. I'll probably stick with Wood. I got Mbumo. Let's stick with Wood. I would obviously like Castagna to be Robinson, but I don't have the money for that. Why do I feel like Munoz is going to score tomorrow? I'll ask my brother. Chat want to know, is Munoz going to score? He's thinking about benching Munoz, mate. No. He's thinking about, he just sent me his FPL team. He's got Quanta in there, right? His is actually nice. He's got Sarr starting. He's asking Munoz or Quanta on bench. I'm saying bench Munoz. Don't think United score. I don't think United score. Could come back to hurt me. Having looked at making any of your videos into post-COD podcasts, especially the longer ones, they would be great in the car. Yeah, I to be honest, mate, like I'm pretty new to this all, so I don't really know how to do it. I would love to do that because recently I've been like trying to cut my videos down in length because I feel like people probably don't want to listen for so long. But if that's something that you like, I don't really know how to do it, Niels, but I'll have a look into it. If you do have an idea, maybe just ping me a message. Oh, there my brother's in the chat, everybody. Let's go. First time he's been here. Welcome to the chat. I've got my wildcard team on stream, mate. That's not mine. Yeah, Lucas says Munoz might score tomorrow. So let us know if you think that's the case. You're our resident Crystal Palace expert in the chat. CR7, bench 1, Kirkes, Nico Williams and Hull. Nico Williams for sure. A, could easily get rotated. B, Kirkes beat Everton. Great fixture. Lewis Hall's been awesome. BF Adam, great name as well. Yeah, that's my wildcard team, mate. Check that out if you're happy with it. Nice. Put my team back on the stream. Agree on podcast. Nice, cool. Like, if you guys are interested into me making stuff into a podcast, yeah, I'd definitely look to do something like that. Obviously, just haven't really worked out how to do it. Off to watch the cricket. What cricket are you off to watch? Nice. I'm a big cricket fan. And you got my bro in the chat as well. He's even bigger cricket fan. Hopefully another 100-point week for me. Good luck this week, Luca, mate. Good to see you. Yeah, I've got some interesting cricket news about myself, but I'll leave it till it actually happens to bring up on chat. But yeah, hopefully some big news in the future. Tiger and Guna, thinking of rolling over your team. Do you want us to have a look at it? Do you want to check your team ID in the chat and we'll put it up on screen? Otherwise, in the meantime, I'll chug through the team news because we never really finished getting through all those press conference newses. Start to Gid Excel Mateta Sahu. Mateta and Hull, I think. What do you think, Al? You're in the chat. Let me know. I think Mateta and Hull. I don't think you can start 2 Palace attackers. Dubious. Alex, should I go against you guys and bench Munoz or bench João Pedro instead? Yeah, Al, you can cover the chat comments, mate. Now you're here. Just let us know. Let us know who we need to bench, who we need to play in the Palace. Those are the big questions this week. And then I can blame you if anything goes wrong next week. So that's ideal. Fantastic. My brother lives in Australia. He went from UK. He said the economy jobs are much better paid there, but he misses the football. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. Economy's better. The jobs are probably slightly, the pay's probably reasonable. I think when I moved over here, the pay was definitely a little bit better. The football's a big miss, man. Like going to the pub with my brother, my mates, like catch you later, Luke. Good to see you, mate. Going to the pub with my brother and my mates, like definitely like miss 100% having a beer, watching footy. Not the same. But yeah, lifestyle in Australia is so different, man. Just being at the beach, everything's outdoorsy. Like everything's a bit more indoorsy in England. What's the hype with Sarr suddenly? What am I missing? Yeah, to be honest, mate, I agree. Like everyone's banging on about Sarr and Munoz and Mateta, and it's really because of the Palace fixtures. Like if you look at the Palace fixtures from an attacking and a defensive standpoint, like this is what I've got from an attacking standpoint. These Palace fixtures, like obviously after this week, they got Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, then United, who could be nice, Everton defending quite well at the moment, Fulham, Villa, and then Ipswich. So like it is a nice run of fixtures for Palace, but and they have started to get into sort of a better run of form with this sort of like 3-4-2-4, 3-4-2-1 formation they've been playing with Eze and Sarr in behind Mateta. I think like Sarr's doing quite nicely there, running in behind Mateta. I think that's been really useful for them. They've looked a lot better. Obviously, that Arsenal game was a bit of like they went back to like almost a back 5 in that game, played a different formation. But otherwise, Palace have like 2 losses in their last 9 games. Like they've been on a good run. But like if you look at the goals, for example, for me, like they don't score a huge amount of goals, and that just I can't go for them. This is where I look at like home and away splits and like goals for, goals away. We're at Palace on here, 12. Let me get my face out of this. Just hide my face so you guys can see it. Yeah, if you look at Palace, like 11, 22 goals. Like if you look at the full league table, and maybe I don't have the full league table on here, but that's not really helpful for you guys. But yeah, they don't score a huge amount of goals. 22 goals scored is not a lot. So for me, like I wouldn't want to have 2 Palace attackers in my team. And if I put like, I'll just quickly do this off screen. But say if I put the ESPN league table, I filtered by goals scored. Mateta or Sarr is a toss up. Here's my brother, here he goes. I like and have Sarr as Mateta occupies a centre back and holds up the ball, whereas Sarr is running in behind more. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I've been talking about. Like Mateta holds the ball up, sometimes drops in, plays that sort of role that, for example, Jackson and Palmer have done so nicely for Chelsea. You have sort of Jackson being able to drop in, play it off to Palmer in behind, but then you've also got the opposite of you've still got Eze in behind who's a bit more creative, and Mateta can still look to run in behind and cause problems with the pace he has. So yeah, I like Sarr because he obviously has that more goal threat, and that's what I was saying about Sarr over Eze. Eze's maybe a bit better for longer shots and a bit more creatively for assists, whereas Sarr has that goal threat, and the fact that it's 5 points for the goal, I slightly prefer Sarr to Eze. If my brother says Sarr over Mateta, then that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Also, 5 points for a goal for a midfielder, 4 for an attacker. Nick, sorry, start 3, Trent, Gabriel, Kirkes or Robinson. Jeez, good team, mate. Kirkes, Trent, and then you choose Gabriel and Robinson. I'd almost be tempted to go Robinson. Hard, but I would be tempted to go Robinson. Yeah, so Palace, like goals scored, 20 goals. Like look at this, if we order by goals scored, they're 4th from bottom. So they've not shown that much to be like dominating with sort of a like double up guys. I wouldn't go for a double up on Sarr and Mateta. So Giddick, Sil, just go Sarr and Hall in that case. Sarr picks my brother's pick, so I blame him if Mateta scores. Tiger Gunnar, let's go. Pickford, Robinson, Hall, Kirkes, Aït-Nouri, Salah, Palmer and Mbeumo, Diaz, Isak, João Pedro, Porro, Matoma, Cunha. Thoughts, please, bud. Thoughts, Pedro Porro probably needs to go, Tiger. Spurs defence are obviously shambles at the moment. Kirkes, Aït-Nouri, Hall. I mean, to be honest, you can go Pedro Porro to like a 4 mil duff defender. You've got Robinson, Kirkes, Kirkes and Aït-Nouri as well. Not too nice. I would say like Bournemouth, you can get away with like rotating Kirkes out for like 21 to 24, and then their fixtures are a little bit nicer from 25 onwards. So maybe hold on to Kirkes. Aït-Nouri on the other hand, I think really I'd probably say time to let him go as well. But Pedro Porro would be first for me. I'd definitely look to move Pedro Porro on out of that team. Matoma, Cunha. Do you have free transfers, Tiger and Gunnar? I think you're thinking of rolling, weren't you? You got 1 free transfer. I'd definitely be starting Hall, Kirkes and Robinson this week. Salah, Palmer and Mbeumo, Diaz. Isak, João Pedro. You obviously got the Mitoma. Yeah, I mean you could roll this week, play that. Wolves have got Forest. Yeah, so you could definitely play that. And then next week I'd look to move like 2 of Pedro Porro, Mitoma, Cunha. Oh, like if you want to keep Cunha, that's fine. Otherwise, Cunha, again, as we've been talking about, maybe a Wissa or a... you've got Mbeumo, so probably a Jesus or a Wood. Or keep Cunha. And then, like, if you do keep Cunha, then I think about go to Pedro Porro, probably down. Either down or laterally to like a Timber. And then Matoma, you can move to it like one of many. I would say you've got Enzo as an option. You've got. Do you have Gordon? No, you don't have Gordon. So you've got Gordon, you've got Murphy, Enzo, like probably all three of those guys in the midfield for Matoma. Morgan Rogers as well. Morgan Rogers probably who I would look to get in. I really rate Morgan Rogers for Villa. Very key player for them. Very key player. So yeah, I think you're fine this week, Tiger. You could roll and then make 2 transfers next week. Probably suits your team the best. Long term, who would you place Pedro with if you already have Wood, Isaac, Watkins? Whistler if you don't have Mbumo. Otherwise, Jesus. I think Jesus is nice at the moment. He obviously got a goal and assist last week for Arsenal. I've got him in my team. He did well for me, so I'm pretty happy. Wang Long Sam Marbo. Hey bro, good to see you. Neil's off to bed, so any chance to have a quick look at my team? Sorry mate, yeah, I'll do you quickly. Wang mate, I'll get back to you after. 460, 335. 40% of Palace goals this year have been from our back 5 as well, so possible value in our back 5 rather than the attacking players, i.e. Munoz. Yeah, that's interesting. I know you're talking now about Munoz playing pretty high for Palace, like getting on that right wing, sometimes inverting into the 10. And I think that's what's intriguing a lot of people is Munoz from an attacking perspective. But there are just a lot of defenders as well that are nice. Neil, sorry mate, let's just do you quickly before you go off to bed. Yeah, Eze was an absolute points dodger at the beginning of the season, wasn't he? Munoz, Trent, Gabriel. Well, as the Palace expert said, keep Munoz. That's sound. So the back 3 looks nice. Mikalenko, keep hold of him for that double get. I mean, you don't have to. Honestly, Liverpool could slaughter Everton 5-0, and then that double game week having Mikalenko is almost like it's won anyway. But if you got him, you might as well keep him. Odegaard, Jackson, Isaac, Pedro. Not put one of them. It's Odegaard, mate, that I'd probably look at. Like honestly, yeah, I probably need to give you some better reasoning. But let's watch Arsenal again this week. But probably I'd have a think about Odegaard. Maybe we can have a chat next week about whether he looks good. I just feel like he's not really providing that incisive cutting edge. I know he's on set pieces and pens now with Saka out. But I think like they're going to have to find another way of getting the goals. I'm just not sure he's the guy. I almost feel like I prefer Jesus, and then like there are some other like Mbumo and Gordon that I like in that sort of midfield area, even a Murphy. Yeah, I think that sort of Odegaard, Semenyo, João Pedro is where I'd be looking at for you, Niels. I don't like Semenyo at all coming up, so if you could move him for, because you've got Palmer and Jackson, I would say not Enzo, but maybe like you got Rodgers, perhaps like a Jacob Murphy. That could be nice, Semenyo to Murphy. Make the most of that sort of Newcastle great form. And then you could keep Odegaard in there if that's sort of your differential pick that you're looking for. And then yeah, just have a think about what you want to do with Raya. Maybe you want to move him to Alisson for that double game week coming up in 24-25. Had to come back for one real quick for one question, Luca. Kepa or Flecken to start? Kepa to start. Yeah, I think that's the right pick. Everton, come on man. Everton can't score a goal, save their life. Sorry, one long time. I know I skipped your question. It's currently afternoon here. How does your current team look like? Any transfers you're planning? Yeah, I am planning to bring in Mbumo in. And someone asked me about Gordon earlier and whether he was like there was this like random Newcastle team news. So right now I'm gonna have a look at like Anthony Gordon injury. And if there is something rogue, and I'll have a look on Twitter as well. Not that I'm supporting Twitter. I don't see anything about it. I don't see anything. Oops. Putting faith in your brother's team, starting Munoz over JP. Yeah, all right. That's gonna be my new pick. I'll tell you what. My brother's a bit of an oracle. That's what I've been told. And he's also told me on occasions that he can tell the colour of things. So I would say if this changes colour, then you should start Munoz. Possibly to like maybe a red colour. The oracle ball has spoken, guys. It has spoken again. And that means Munoz, get him in your starting lineups. The oracle has spoken. And now it's just happened to change colour again. I don't know how that happened. Alright, Munoz starting, everybody. Get him in your teams. Yeah, Eze was unlucky at the start of the season. He also had a bunch of chances that he just didn't finish. Yeah, so it was a bit like... I mean, to be honest, if Anthony Gordon didn't trade, my team's screwed anyway. I've only got 10 playing players, so... Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm literally not seeing anything about Anthony Gordon not training. I'm looking around, mate. Thanksgiving only got one more week, especially lost corners last game week. Might bring. Oh, I didn't notice that actually in the game. That's interesting. Might bring in Bumo and Gordon for Odegaard and Semenyo. Yeah, I think that's nice. And if you do want to target, Arsenal do have a good fixture run, so perhaps go to Jesus. Go and ask my 3-year-old if Mateta is scoring today. He's normally right. Yeah, can you make sure he says that he's not going to score? Because I don't want to support that in the chat. Your 3-year-old is right. You got it right last time. Well, alongside good. No worries, mate. Thanks a lot. I have a Fixture game in 30 minutes while I'm typing this. So in quite a hurry to make my transfer. What are your thoughts? Have a great weekend ahead. Sorry, what was your question again? Too many things coming in. Any transfers I'm planning? Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously planning to bring in Bumo for Bowen. That's my transfer. If you see on screen now my team, that's going to be my starting lineup this week. So that's my thoughts. If you've got questions on your own team, one alongside, chuck them in the chat. I'll answer them now before you go futsal. Good luck at futsal as well. I can't see anything on Gordon not training. I cannot see anything on him not training. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make my transfer on stream for this week. I'm going to, as you can see, mate. Oh shit, that's not what I'm going to do. That would have been an absolute nightmare. We were talking through 3 hit teams, almost did a -20. I do have to take a -4 this week because I just don't have the starting players, unfortunately, because I sub Trent in early. Seb reckons Mateta will score today, so it depends which Palace Oracle you trust. Nah, we've already gone Munoz. Can't trust the 3-year-old. Can't have him. Otherwise, I'll have to bring him on stream next week. Alright, Bowen for Mbumo, -4 points. You're all seeing it, you're all witnessing it. I'll even put my face back on the screen so you can see me chatting rubbish. There you go, Mbumo's in. Bumo is in the team for Bowen. My bench is looking superb. Look at that horrible bench. But yeah, 44k guys, going strong. I think this week will be a bit of a struggle for me. I can't if I get a green arrow, I'll be very happy. I do have a nice team, but I'd like to have Robinson. I'd like to have Robinson, probably for Gvardiol. Maybe that'll be my transfer next week. Night Niels, we do a live review session, like a knee-jerk stream like Andy does. I can do that. I don't know what am I doing this weekend. I've got like a little kid's birthday party actually on Sunday, but I can probably do one in the evening. Maybe I won't put out a video. I'll do like a review session like Sunday night. What time are the games? Yeah, it'd probably have to be Sunday night. I could do just a live discussion. If you guys are around, maybe that's the way to go. I'll do a knee-jerk stream this week. Not really knee-jerk, but talk it through. Talk through the games. I'll have to watch everything tomorrow morning. Alright, did I miss any questions that came in over the last little bit? Tiger and Gooner, I should have listened to you last week about my captaincy. Pick Palmer as captain. Always listen to me, mate. Always listen to me. And if you don't listen to me, listen to the Oracle Ball. He can choose captaincy as well. Let me know if you've got any questions for the ball. Any questions I've missed? Putting faith in your brothers this time in yours. Giving Odegaard one last week. Yeah, let's talk about Odegaard after the Arsenal game this week. Be interesting. I think that'll be an interesting one. I actually might stay up and watch the games this week. It's only 2 AM. I'll get told off in the morning, but it'll be good. Cool. All right, let's. What have we got? 1 hour till the deadline. Few things I do. Like, I actually wouldn't mind talking through like chip strategy and stuff with you guys. I don't know if we really did much of that last week. But I also just want to. Like, I know I just didn't really ever get the chance to just bomb through that team news. So maybe if we just bomb through the team news for this week quickly. And I know I say quickly and I'm terrible at being quick about doing things. I always give my views on everything. We did this slide. I know we got through the first slide. Villa, Rodgers suspended for 1 game. Duran also suspended this game. Watkins obviously starts up front. Pau Torres is out for 2 months. I think it was a metatarsal. So he's going to be out for a while. That's one of their centre-backs down. I'm not sure whether that means Toro Mings is going to be back starting alongside Konsa. Could be. Otherwise, Diego Carlos maybe comes in at centre-back. Leicester news for any of you that are in Woot phase like me on the bench. It's great news for me that he might be on the bench for Leicester for a 1-pointer if Anthony Gordon is not fit. Didi and Fatawi still injured out long term. Hermansen is not available for Leicester yet. Rude said he'd be another couple of weeks. Ricardo Pereira obviously still out. AU returns from suspension, so a bit of an attacking option. Vardy's fine. Knee-jerk session would be great. Alright, I'll do that. Gavilas, bench 1. Hoyson, Castagna. Payna. Play Hoyson for sure. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Hoyson. Castagna v Anal. You watching the Liverpool United game? What are you doing for the Liverpool United game, Nick? Should I come over to your place? 3:30. Or you should come to me this time. I came to you last time. No, actually, it didn't work out very well me coming to you because United came back. Castagna v Einar. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Because Wolves are missing Cunha. I'm going to say bench Castagna. That will be an unpopular opinion for most people, considering Fulham at home. Very close. I think you can go either way on that. I'll definitely play Hoyson. Everton have 0 attacking threat. Tottenham, let's continue. Team news, we'll get through there. Castagna for me. Everton struggling to score. Cunha out for Wolves. Ipswich in decent form scoring wise. Yeah, thanks Al. Good to know we're on the same boat about everything today. Love this. Big fan of having you on my stream, mate. Makes me a lot more confident about my decisions. Got my big brother to support me. Tottenham, Bentancur suspended again. He loves the suspension, doesn't he? He just doesn't really like playing. He fancies having a break. He's had his one game back. He was like, that'll do. I'll have another break. Too much for him. Udogi's out for a few weeks again. Vicario and Davies still both out. Davies suffered a setback when he came back to training, out for another couple of weeks. Romero and Van de Ven out, and Ange did say there's been some illnesses in the squad, but didn't mention who or what it was and whether they'd be out for the game week. So Spurs could be really depleted against Newcastle, which would be mental. Considering they've already got so many injuries. Newcastle, Lascelles and Croft's still out. Wilson's obviously still out. That's probably about 7 weeks now. Pope and Botman are both back in training, but probably unlikely to start. Probably Pope a little bit more likely than Botman, I'd say. Shah is suspended, so I mean Botman could come back in there. And Trippier is available, so I think Livramento will probably miss out. Man City, basically the same as last week. Pep was saying Diaz is still out, probably like not as long anymore. Ederson, Stones, and Nunes are all unlikely to play. Guardiola basically said sort of same people available this week as well last week, so they're not quite ready. Fabianski for West Ham, as we said, Lopetegui said suffered with the concussion protocol, so he's out for like 10 days from when he got that concussion. So he'll be out for this week. But I probably expect him to come straight back into the starting lineup and Areola to miss out after that. So it might just be 1 week for those of you that own Fabianski. I know that's a lot of people at the moment. Souček and Rodriguez back for suspension. I think that's super important for West Ham in this game. They're going to need to get a break from Man City bombing at them, and Souček's so important to that. West Ham playing direct, him winning the header, knocking it down, and then them starting their attack sort of from there. I expect them to play Kudus and some of him on the wings, and that's going to be their main way of getting at City. It's going to be Kudus and Somerville. They're going to have to try and exploit them in transition down the flanks. I think Kudus could have a good game. Kudus could have a good game against him. I think missing Bowen in this game is a huge miss for West Ham. I actually thought my accent's less ropey today, so I can actually listen to it. Cheers, mate. Sounding very British, right? That's good. That's what I like to hear. This is like my brother always tells me I've got an Aussie twang, and then all the Aussie people say you sound British. I'm just not accepted anywhere. I'm only accepted on YouTube live streams. That's good. Good to have you, mate. Good to have you. Yeah, Bowen out with a fractured foot. I think huge for Bowen owners. That was, like, for me especially. I picked this as a game where I thought Bowen was going to do really well. So, yeah, bit of an upside for City, obviously, with Bowen out. But yeah, I think Kudus and Somerville are going to be the main attacking sort of threats for West Ham. Wolves, Cunha suspended for the 1 game. He's obviously banned for 2 games, but one of them will be in the Cup. So he's only out for the 1 Premier League game, which will be this week, and he'll be back next week against Newcastle, which is very unfortunate because I was hoping he'd be out for that Newcastle game, and that would be a really nice fixture then for Lewis Hall. But yeah, he will be back for that game. Lamina, I think there's something going on with Lamina at Wolves. He might potentially move in after he got stripped of the captaincy for that little scuffle. Diaz busy with Maya Jama for a couple of weeks. What's Maya Jama? Maya Jama. Is that his new missus? Wasn't she dating Stormzy? Oh, Ruben Diaz. Oh, that's mad. Oh, that's why he's still out, is he? Extended. Good celebrity gossip, mate. Good contributions. Yeah, something going on with Lamina. We'll talk about it maybe next week. It felt like that from the press conference with Vitor Pereira. He didn't want to say too much about Lamina. Felt like he was not pleased with him. Sarabi is still out. Nottingham Forest, Yates actually returns from suspension. That should be in green. Apologies for the red colour. Murillo is fit. That is really big news for Nottingham Forest. He obviously missed out last week, picked up an injury just before the game. Murillo is fantastic at centre-back with Milenkovic. He's just had that great physical presence. He's been one of the people playing those diagonals out to the wings for Nottingham Forest and like starting off their attacks. It could mean that Nottingham Forest start in that like 3-4-3 formation as well, which I think is a little bit less defensively solid for them. I'd prefer them to start in a 4-4-2 for those of you that are starting Forest assets. If they do start in the 3-4-3, I think the clean sheet for Milenkovic purposes is not as good. For Aina, it's actually nicer because he'll be playing a higher wing-back role. But yeah, will be less nice for those Milenkovic owners. I think 4-4-2 is much better for them in that case. Hudson-Odoi also available. Sangare and Danilo still out for Forest. Bournemouth, Clivert returns from a suspension, and their millions of injuries are still the same. No changes. McNeil's still unlikely for Everton. I think Dykes would love to have him back because he's got zero attacking threat without him. But he is possible. What's that correct? Garner and Rogabunam out, and Seamus Coleman also still injured for Everton. Brighton, Welbeck looks like he's still out for a while. Kadioglu's also out for a while. Don't expect them back anytime soon. I'm not sure what's going on with Welbeck, whether it really is an injury, because when Herzl talks about him, he's like, it could be 1 week, it could be 3 weeks, it could be 4 weeks. We don't really know. So I think maybe it's like personal issues that they don't want to talk about. They're just saying he's injured to protect him. That's often what a lot of Premier League teams do when they do have personal issues. Like they won't say that to protect their privacy. So I think Welbeck's just probably out with some personal issues at the moment. But we'll see, because they don't really talk about what the injury is. Weaver and Hinshelwood still possible for return. Adam Webster was said to be back available this week. Ferguson is still out with an injury, and there was no news in the press conference on Estepinian illness, which is why he missed the game week last week. So unsure on whether he will be available. Herzl did say he'd probably be working with the same people otherwise, so that makes me think he might not be available again this week, Estepinian. So not sure what is wrong with him, but he is a maybe for this week. Arsenal, Saka out 2 to 3 months. Timber suspended this week. Havertz is available after his illness last week, and Sterling White and Tommy Asu still out. Palace, Warner's out for about 4 weeks. Gueye returns from suspension this week. Shalabar is obviously ineligible to face Chelsea, who are his parent club, on loan from them. And Hughes is out, which, as my brother mentioned, means Doucouré probably plays in that centre midfield role. Also a few changes in that centre-back role with Chalobah out. Chelsea, Lavia is possible, but I think won't be back for this week. Badiashile Fofana out long-term. Dewsbury Hall also still out. Reece James is back with the team and is available for this week. Expect him to get some minutes, at least, in this game week. Southampton, I think Flynn Downs is actually back. Rather than a possible, I think he'll be a big comeback for Southampton this week. Stevens still out, injured for around 4 weeks. Fernandez is suspended for a game, and Smallbone is still a possibility. Brentford news, Mee is out, unfortunately, alongside Pinnock. Henry, Thiago, are all still out. Jensen and Vandenberg are available, and Flecken, obviously, after having started last week, is also available. Carvalho picked up a groin injury and is unlikely to be available for this game week. And that is all she wrote on press conferences, which is nice. So yeah, a couple of maybe other things to talk through for this week. I did want to sort of chat through maybe my thoughts on chip strategy going forwards, and this offers me a nice little chance to go through that with you guys. Just give me a second to pull that up on screen. I think there's a few interesting options that we can talk through. And like, if you guys want me to put out a new video, I do already have a chip strategy video that if you haven't looked at yet, you guys should definitely check it out. Maybe I'll add a card somewhere up here later or down below in the links. So do check that out in the future if you want to look. But I will go through it with you guys now, which is basically a little run through. I've talked about the blanks and doubles, so Liverpool v Everton could be played in 24 or 25. Basically, if Liverpool make the top 8 of the UEFA Champions League, which means they won't have that sort of fixture in that game week, the like knockout fixture. So obviously, very likely that that is going to happen. And I would say, if we just look maybe to explain a bit clearer. And I can get my face out of the screen so you guys can see this a little bit better. And I'll show the guys. So if you look, basically at 24, you can see they have semi-finals of the EFL Cup and round 4 of the FA Cup, and then like knockout round of the Champions League 1. So this is for teams that are not in the top 8 that automatically qualify for the leg of 16. So Liverpool could potentially play in that midweek Tuesday between February the 8th and February the 15th, the postponed game with Everton. If not, then they will likely play the next week, which is game week 25, which is that knockout round 2 leg, which is midweek between the 15th and the 22nd. So either Liverpool have either they have Bournemouth and Everton or Wolves and Everton in the double game week, and Everton will either have Leicester and Liverpool or Palace and Liverpool in the double game week. So I think like it would be a great game week for Liverpool if it goes into 25. Personally, my guess is that it probably does. Like it probably goes into 25, but maybe they'll just want to get the fixture out of the way as quickly as possible. And therefore they'll put it in 24 just in case any other things come up. So knocking back to then the sort of strategy here, and obviously if that does then come up, if that comes up in 24 or 25, you want to be working towards getting your Liverpool players in for that. I'd probably look to play my triple captainship in that double game week in 24-25. And then the other game weeks that we have are, there's a blank in 29 and there'll be a blank in 34. And those 2 blanks are essentially due to the EFL Cup final, which is like Carabao Cup final. Much better than the rest. Bench 1, Ahmad Al Ayubi. Bench 1 out of Bruno, Trent, Saliba, Lewis Hall. Trent, Saliba, Lewis Hall. This might come back to bite me in the butt, but Bruno Fernandes. Saliba. Bench Saliba. Guys, if I am helpful and you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. It really help my channel going forward. Kvidas. We went with Huijsen and Aina to play, and Castagna to bench. That was what we went for, mate. Much planned for the rest of my weekend. No, man, I just got the Sunday off. I got better like this little my 3-year-old's birthday party on Sunday. Wonderful. I was going to say my mate. He is my mate. He's a good bloke. But yeah, otherwise, now I'll be watching the games tomorrow morning. Off to that, and then yeah, back at work on Monday. Unfortunately, not looking forward to that. Yeah, so if I just talk through these blanks in 29 and 34, so it's the EFL Cup final blank in 29 and the FA Cup semi-final blank in 34. You can see here on this great sort of Ben Crellin spreadsheet for fixtures, 20 and 29, it will either be Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Newcastle, two of those teams that will blank, and then those fixtures ultimately are going to get played either like if any of those teams, if those fixtures, the teams, none of them are in the FA Cup quarter final, it could just be played on that FA Cup quarter final week, Saturday the 29th. Otherwise, the options are really midweek of the 31st if the teams have not made the quarterfinals of Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, or the 32nd again if they've not made Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. It's likely that it will obviously happen on the 31st. They'll probably organise it earlier the better. But with a lot of these teams, obviously it's Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham. They could be in the quarterfinals of those knockouts. So that means the next available game week to play would be 33. So that's why we have in here the small double being in this game week 33 period. So it is likely that is a week where we could have a double game week. That is one of the weeks where I'm actually targeting my assistant manager chip. And then the other, obviously, blank will be in 34 here, you see, which is the FA Cup semi-final. And really the possibilities are, if those teams have made the semi-finals of the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, it could be played midweek, or on 34 or 35. But obviously if they have, then it would go into 36, which is the only blank available, the only midweek available fixture on the 13th. So that would be a big double game week with, if the 4 teams were 4 Premier League teams, then that could be up to 8 fixtures being postponed. So that leads me on to sort of the best way to use my chips. And what I'm looking at really here is 2 things. One is a wildcard in 35, and that is to use that to lead into a bench boost in game week 36, which is basically so I can go into that bench boost with 15 double game weekers and bench boost the 15 double game weekers to be 30 double game weekers, which would be really nice. I think but you're basically having 30 fixtures playing, and you just got to get through the last 2 weeks of the season with whatever those teams are, which is, in my opinion, is worth it. You get an extra 15 games, huge for a double game week. And yeah, wildcarding in 35, leaving it as late as possible, means that you've obviously got to make the most of these free transfers and really try and save up your free transfers over the next few weeks leading up to sort of 29, where you've got some blanks and you might need to use stuff. So for me, like, that's definitely a good strategy. I think that's really nice if you can save it for that. Obviously, you have to be aware that the doubles could come in some other game weeks. But again, that sort of means you've got to be a little bit flexible with when to use your wild card into that bench boost. But I think 35 into 36 is the one that makes the most sense to me, given that it's pretty likely that we'll have some doubles at least in that we can look to target. Free hit. Now, I think there's a couple of options for free hit here. I think you could look to use your free hit chip in game week 29 in the EFL Cup final blank game week, or you could look to use it in 34, which is the FA Cup semi-final. What's more important, defenders or attackers, Jonesy? In terms of just at the moment in FPL, I would say that attackers are definitely more important. And while I'm doing it, I'll change screens so people can keep the team news coming up on the screen, because I don't have the team news on that free hit chip one. Yeah, look, I'd say definitely the most important thing are attackers, or actually it would be midfielders for me. The reason being for midfielders is obviously you have the 5 points for a goal, which is like the biggest you can get between midfielders and attackers. You also get that extra 1 point for a clean sheet. And also this season, the way they've changed the bonus point system has meant that if you look at how the bonus points have come, the midfielders are the people who've got sort of the most bonus points this season. I wonder if I can show that sort of something like that on the screen. Sorted by... Yeah, so it's been like midfielders and forwards that have got the sort of bonus points this season. I'll put it on screen. Let me move myself out of the way. Move myself to the other side. Yeah, so if you look here at people like... Hey, Levu! How you going, mate? Nice to see you. We're having some thoughtful FPL commentary at the moment, so perfect timing for you to join, mate. So yeah, we were talking about what's more important. What's more important, defenders or like midfielders or attackers? And I was talking... Obviously, you get the extra point for the goal in midfield. You get the point for... am I in any FPL leagues? Yeah, I actually just today joined a bunch of FPL leagues. I thought it might give me some more followers on YouTube when people see that I'm quite high up in them. So I just joined a bunch of the leagues off Reddit. That was my thought process on joining them. But otherwise, I normally just play with my mates. But if you've got a league, mate, happy to join. Happy to join. Yeah, if any of you guys have got leagues, or if you want me to set up a league, I can set up a league. Maybe I'll do that for next week. In fact, 2 things for me to note down. Let me write them down because I'll forget. Is to set up a league and to work out how to do a podcast. Those are the 2 things you guys asked for. It might take me a couple of weeks to work out how to do the podcast. But yeah, set up a league, do podcast. And the podcast one will take me a bit of time because I'm back at work as well. So, Silver Cube, hey mate, how are you? Please sub to the channel, give us a like after I give you this great piece of advice that you should start Munoz. And we have a Crystal Palace Oracle that's on the stream today, as well as our Oracle Ball. My video picture's behind slightly, is it? Yeah, mate. At this point in the stream, I'm not taking the risk of trying to fix that. It's been like just drama these streams at the moment. My video picture's slightly behind. Yeah, I'm about 8 seconds. The lag's about 8 seconds. Oh, as in like my video picture's behind the noise. Yeah, that's really annoying if that's the case. That is annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. For now, we'll have to live with the settings. Yeah, this stream died earlier, and I don't want it to die. So, do you know what? I'll change it, and we'll see if we get. No, that's not going to make any better. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'll try and set up a podcast. Hopefully, I'm not too far behind. It used to be about 8 seconds, but maybe it looks like I'm a bit further. Looks like I'm a bit further behind at the moment. Content is great, and you deserve more views and subs for sure. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Anyway, talking about midfielders, forwards, defenders. Yeah, the bonus point system is obviously heavily swayed towards midfielders, and you can see here, like all of these midfielders, including like Damsgaard, is pulling in more bonus. Oh, sorry, this is BP bonus point system rather than bonus. But they're all pulling in more bonus essentially, and that has reflected in the sort of bonus points given out. You can see like defenders really, like top defenders, 15 bonus points. You already got 1, 2, 3, 4 ahead of that, ahead of them, and then yeah, look at the strikers. Like strikers, there's quite a few of them picking up bonus points. So it's more like because of the shots now, you get a point for shots on target. If people are having shots on targets, video looks fine on your end. Nice, that's good. We're back. It looks like we're back. Video just got better. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what we want to see. Don't worry, the knowledge makes up for it. Thanks, Lee. We appreciate it, mate. Yeah, so again, like bonus point system heavily skewed to the attacking players. If they do score a goal and you get like a 1 or 2-0 win, they're most likely to pick up bonus points, which hasn't been the case in previous seasons, and that has been because of the changes to the BPS. Interesting to see if they do something about that next year. So definitely attackers are more important, and that's also why generally I've been most looking to play attackers. There's also like a bigger upside for them as well. If you get for defenders, obviously you can get a clean sheet wiped out by 1 goal, and then do they have that ability to get goals and assists? You don't know. That's why I quite like the clean sheets have not been very easy to pick this year. We've definitely had problems sort of picking those clean sheets. There's been a lot of goals being scored in the league, and that seems to really be just going up over the last 8 years and stuff. I've got to shoot up the Palace. Yeah, see you out. Thanks for joining the stream, mate. Only 30 minutes to go anyway. So anybody still on the stream, give us a sub if you haven't already subscribed. Like the video. Have a good weekend, Al. Say hi to Seb for me. Let's go Palace. Here's the Palace shirt for you today that I'm wearing. Do I play football? Yeah. I tore my hammy like about a few months ago. Playing, so I haven't been back since then. Hey bro, I need advice please. Munoz or Lewis to start. We said Munoz, Silver Cube, mate. Munoz to start. We're on the Munoz train on this channel. If I'm helpful for you, please sub and like. But yeah, definitely Munoz over Lewis. We're going for, and if you have Guardiola as well, then even more reason to not go to Man City. Yeah, sorry. Do I play footy? Yeah, I tore my hammy scoring the winner in a 3-2 win. Actually. For my footy team, I bombed forward, took an amazing first touch. He can only kick with 1 foot, but he's a decent footballer. Yeah, my right foot is just for standing on, as everyone knows, but my left foot is cultured, mate. Cultured. Scouted by Aston Villa when I was a kid, actually, to play fullback for them, but it was just a bit of a trek for me because I was down south, so I couldn't get up to the Midlands to play. But yeah, played pretty decent standard football. Yeah, knowledge is just like playing, watching games, decent coaching when I was young as well. Is Pickford worth looking into to replace Raya? Already subscribed, thanks bro. Much love bro, appreciate you. Good luck this game week. Is Pickford worth looking into to replace Raya? I'd probably go Alisson for Raya. I'd be looking towards that 24-25 double game week if I was to replace him. I know Pickford also you're saying 24-25, but Liverpool could easily just smoke them. But I would say Pickford. I mean, you could look into it. The Everton fixtures. Like if we pull them up, fixtures. From a defensive standpoint. Oh, yuck. Yeah, from a defensive standpoint, if we look at these, they're not. From 24, they're actually alright. So if you're looking to bring Pickford in around there, 6 weeks into 29, like decent fixtures. Yeah, I think it's what you think long term. Hey bro, would you do Semenyo to Gordon for a -4? Nah. Famously hates playing left back, wanting to be a centre mid. Has converted to us. Can you stop? Look, all right, get off my screen now, bro. It's been nice having you, but if you can stop telling people all my secrets. Yeah, I do have a top trump card that was made about me. We had our football team got made into top trumps, and they had famous quotes, and mine was, "Why am I playing left back?" I just hated it. I always thought I was too good to be playing left back. I obviously wasn't. No, I found left back super easy. The role has changed a lot over the years. It's a lot more of it's a different role these days, like Premier League fullback roles. A lot more complex, a lot more attacking. I reckon I love it now. That'd be ideal for me to play there. But no, back in the day. Adam, sorry, Semenyo to Gordon for -4. What's the rest of your team, mate? Have you got your team ID? I'll put it in the chat. I don't like -4s generally. I think especially not against Everton. Could be a nice upside, but probably not for a -4. Do you follow any English lower league teams? I wouldn't say follow, but Charlton are my local team, so I like to see how they're going. Also, Al, if you can get Crispy on these streams, he can give us some Charlton fan base. Yeah, dig me out a bit. Yeah, you're right. Nice having you anyway, bro. See you later. Greetings, Lewis Simplement. Greetings, mate. Nice to see you. Lewis Vandenberg Concert. Which two would you pick? Which two would I pick or which two would I start? I wouldn't pick any of them. If I was picking a side. If I had them, I'd be playing Vandenberg and Lewis. Villa missing Rodgers is going to be tough. They're not going to be great in transition. As good in transition. Leicester attacking, they're alright going forwards, Leicester. And Villa are also missing Pau Torres this week. So, few misses for Villa at the moment. I would definitely go Vandenberg and Lewis. Will Canate be worth bringing back in when he is back? Yeah, I would say if you don't go Alisson, you go Canate. It's actually something someone talked about, I think, in the chat this week. And I'm gonna have a look about whether I'd actually just rather go Gvardiol to Canate. I don't think I would do because I don't like Ramsdale in goal for me at the moment, and I just want to have a keeper who I can just put him in goal. If he gets a clean sheet, great. If he doesn't, whatever. Deal with it. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Canate could be a nice shout. It depends if you're comfortable with your keeper. For my personal team, he's not, but I think he's definitely someone you should think about if you're comfortable with your goalkeeper. Start, Vandenberg and Lewis Simplement, mate. If that's helpful, please give us a sub, like the video. Not sure who to got 4-3-3 at the moment. Who to start out? Munoz, Saliba, JP, or Saliba. I can do it once. Hey, Levy, what's your team ID, mate? I forgot from last week. Let me chuck it up on screen. Not sure who to go 4-3-3 at the moment. Munoz, Saliba, JP, or Saliba. How many bench João Pedro or Enzo? Kentaro, same for you, mate. Team ID. Let me see the full team. It's hard to make those calls without seeing the full team. Simplement as well. Like if you want to show me a full team, post your team ID. I'm doing team reviews, so happy to pull them up on the screen. I'll show it something like this. I'll get my face out of the way again. Guys, if you haven't used this, it's FPL Gameweek. There's also another one that I don't use. I used to use for I used for like price changes, which is live FPL, which is really nice for price changes. It will show like who's going to rise in price. Obviously, Isaac gunning. It shows all of those sort of players and also show who's going to fall. And it's pretty accurate. The predictions are 99.83% accurate. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. I also use another one, which is this price change predictors, which I think is quite nice as well to double check on these sort of things. Bench João Pedro or Enzo Kentaro. I like, as a standalone basis, Kentaro, it would be Enzo. I'd play Enzo and bench João Pedro. But if you have like Palmer and Jackson, I'd be benching Enzo for me. Levu, start Munoz and Saliba. Don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like not playing an attacker. I don't like not playing. No, start Munoz and JP, bench Saliba. -4 a Wood or Gap. -4 for a Wood or Gakpo. No, don't -4. Don't -4. Don't need to do it. They both have to score, and you'll only break even on a 2-pointer. So I wouldn't -4. -4s are generally not worth it, mate. Generally not worth it. It's very rare though. I obviously had to -4 this week from Lumo but that was only because I didn't have 11 playing players. Otherwise, no chance you'd see me -4ing. There was a time earlier this season where I thought about -4ing Saka out, I think, and João Pedro in for, I don't know, I can't remember who it was for. And that was actually a mistake because that was the week that João Pedro gunned it. Team ID 520 1597. Alright, you're coming, Levu. Guys, also 20 minutes left to deadline, so obviously talking to myself, answer your questions quicker. But also make sure you get your teams locked in. Got Lewis Hall for Timber. Oh, nice, good transfer. Yeah, so Einar. Oh wow, you got a lot of good defenders. You're probably starting Robinson, Lewis Hall, Einar. Hey Toki, how are you, mate? Do you think it's worth bringing in Everton players double game? I'll get to you that comment in a second. Ooh, this is actually, you got like a lot of good play Enzo. Bench Ahmad. Okay, my benchings here are going to be Ahmad. Ooh. Man, you didn't need to make the change this week for Lewis Hall, honestly. You could have rolled that transfer because your defence is good. It's actually hard to pick who to bench. Alright, I think you got to bench Saliba and play João Pedro. I think you got to bench Saliba and Ahmad, and then the third bench is hard. Nah, I don't think. Oh yeah, I know you could. You have such a good defence. You could honestly play 5 at the back, but you can't do that. You can't do that. You could play 5-3-2. Bench Ahmad. Bench Ahmad, João Pedro. Nah, you should play Enzo. Oh no, you got Palmer and Jackson. That's hard, man. That's hard. Einar, Munoz, Robinson, and Hall. All play all 4. Play Palmer, Gordon, Salah, Isak, Jackson, João Pedro. Play 4-3-3, bench Enzo, bench Ahmad, and bench Saliba. That's my shout, Levu. And my reasoning behind it is didn't want to triple up on the Chelsea attack. Just risk-based, really. If Chelsea have a bad game week against Palace, like I think they'll score. I think they'll be fine. But like, you got 3 Chelsea players, so I think I spoke to you about that last week. It's like something that you should consider. Simplement, mate. I will get you up on screen after. Yeah, I think that's something I spoke about last week. Is like you should try and not have triple attackers. Like I don't mind tripling up on teams, but a triple attack is tough. It's tough. So I would. That's what I would do. But yeah, it is a puzzle challenge, mate. It is a puzzle challenge. Yeah, I'd say bench Enzo, Ahmad, and Saliba. But I mean, I definitely would bench Ahmad and then choose between you playing Saliba and João Pedro, and the other one is you playing Enzo over. I don't know who you drop for Enzo. I really don't know. I don't know who you drop for Enzo. Maybe João Pedro. Parking enemy keeper. Yeah. Maybe don't play Munoz, but we're a big Munoz fan on this stream today, and I can blame anybody that picks Munoz and he doesn't do well on my brother because he came on the stream and he told everyone to pick Munoz. So I've now been supporting Munoz this whole stream. He's a Palace fan, a season ticket holder, goes to their games. He's like, pick Munoz. So if Munoz doesn't perform, we're all on him. We're all going for him. Jonesy, thanks mate, appreciate you. Enjoy your Sunday as well, mate. Really appreciate you on these streams, being great value, good to chat to as well, mate. Have a great weekend. Toki, yeah, Everton for the double game week. Look, to be honest, I've been thinking about it. I don't think you should bring in Everton players for the double game week because Liverpool could beat them 5-0. And if you bring in an Everton defender, Suksu, good to see you, mate. I cannot pronounce your name, but maybe you can tell me one day how to pronounce that. Or if it's SXQ. Yeah, I think like Liverpool could easily just score 5, then get 1 point, and then it's like, what's the point in having them in there? But if you've already got in Everton players, definitely keep them in for the double game week because it's like an extra point. But you can probably use your transfers on other stuff going forwards. Like Everton defence is probably not the one for me. If Broya somehow starts scoring 2 goals a game for them, then maybe. Bird Eye View, I like the name, simple one. Yeah, and actually, you had some questions on who to start as well, didn't you? Lewis, Vandenberg, Konsa, which 2 would I start? Munoz is really for attacking returns, Levy, mate. I think clean sheet is not going to get. Vandenberg, Lewis, Konsa. Oh, another Haaland team. Let's go. Love it. Big fan. Got to captain Haaland if you got him. JP, Isaac, Enzo, Palmer, Salah. Clivert's back. You probably play him this week. So you got 3-4-3, and then you'll have Robinson, Lewis, Vandenberg. You got 2 safe transfers, mate. You got 2 safe transfers. You could use them. And 0.3 in the bank. Here's my thoughts. João Pedro to probably not addressing the issues in your team really, but the issues are at the back. This guy needs to come out. I mean, they do have actually, no he doesn't, because they do have great defensive fixtures, so they've got Everton next week, so no need to take him out now. Alright, I would say, is there anyone you can downgrade? What's Vandenberg? 4.1. Woot Phase to Jarell Quansah of Liverpool, 3.9 million. He's going to start maybe like 2 game weeks, and then Canate will come back. Don't have to do that, but if you just want a defender that's a bit more lock for this week, you could go. But yeah, I think Lewis has got to go. But maybe this is not the right game week. Yeah, I'm probably okay. I'd like to try and get João Pedro up to a better attacker, maybe a Jesus or a Wissa. Is what I'd look to do. But you got to take some money out of that team to do it. And the money to take out, I don't see where you can do it. It would have to be a couple of transfers. It would probably be like, what's old boy? Old mate Cliver, how much is he? 5.5. Nah, can't really take it out of there. There's nowhere to really take money out of that team. Maybe you have to run with João Pedro. Maybe next week you move Lewis to like Hall. Lewis to Hall. That's probably what I'd look to do in the future. Otherwise, like, your team's alright. For a Haaland draft, like, you're going to be playing Rodgers most weeks, Enzo, Palmer, Salah, Isaac, Haaland. You can probably rotate Clivert and João Pedro. Robinson's nice. Kepa's obviously an issue for the next few weeks, but then he becomes good again from 25. Consa's got some good fixtures, so him and Robinson will be nice for you. And then maybe you have to work on, like, yes, I think moving Lewis is important for you, because you probably want to be playing Robinson, Konsa, and maybe Lewis Hall every week. And then Vandenberg and Fayes, sort of, yeah. That's what I'd be thinking, Simplement, mate. Just clearing out a loft, so flick you back on and you're digging me out. Yeah, you deserve to be digged out, bro. Giving away stuff. Oh no, on the Munoz, yeah. Come on, man. I got to take it. You're on my stream. This is the first time I've seen you. Got to show you that brotherly love. Hopefully that's helpful, Simpleman, mate. If there's anything else, come back to you. Let's do Kentaro. And then you SXQ. Eva Star, Haaland had a good record against West Ham for -8. What? -8? No -8s. Do not do a -8. If you're thinking of doing a -8, okay, I'm going to have to be quick, guys. There's 10 minutes left. So I'll do some like very quick team reviews here. Wow, lots of red. What? No, you can't be serious. Did I type in the wrong ID? Yeah, I did. Sorry. I was like, whoa, what's that team? Gabriel, Trent, Robinson. Oh man. Bench Enzo. Play Munoz. Odegaard, Salah, Palmer. João Pedro, Jackson, Isak. 4-3-3. Team looks nice. Move Semenyo out of that team. Bring Rodgers in over the upcoming weeks. I don't know how much O'Shea is. Think about Odegaard. Semenyo to Rodgers, probably my first transfer. Then potentially as well think about Odegaard downgrade, João Pedro upgrade. It'd probably be like Odegaard to Mbumo or Gordon, João Pedro up to a Gabriel or Wissa. I think Gabriel Jesus instead of like better option to Odegaard. But let's wait for this Arsenal game week. We'll have a better idea of Odegaard in this sort of new without Saka. I think that's what I'd be thinking. Kentaro, mate. Best forward for 8 million or below. I have Wood already. Gabriel Jesus and Wissa. 6, 2, 1, 3, 8, 9, 3, 2, 2. Eves, mate, no -8, please, no -8. Okay, thank you. Yeah, next week we'll get transfers. Cool, no worries, bro. We'll chat again next week on live stream if you're back. Please give a sub, like the video if you haven't already, guys, and this is helpful. Jackers, I think I said Wissa and Webster Jackers, Wissa and Gabriel Jesus, probably Jesus first for me, but it depends who you have in your team. If you already have Arsenal midfielder or if you already have Mbumo, I wouldn't want to double up, go for the other one. 6-2, hopefully this is the right team, mate. 9-2-2-2. Kirkes, Gabriel, Virgil, start, then Odegaard, Salah, Luis Diaz, Palmer, Isak, João Pedro, Semenyo v Everton. Yeah, just Semenyo. Bench Harwood, Bellis, Colwill, Cunha. And then obviously going forwards, thoughts again, like wait for next week for Odegaard. We'll think about what to do. Odegaard to Gordon, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Harwood, Bellis to Einar. I don't think you need to do that. I don't think you need to move that like 4 million. I think you don't need another defender. Your defense is strong. You can rotate them. If you're going to move a defender, it would be Colwill to Einar Robinson Hall for me. I don't think you need to be Harwood, Bellis. Seb saying Sarr scoring now. Sounds like we're pumping Chelsea today. I kind of hope you do pump Chelsea. It'd be pretty funny. But maybe not. I'd like Eze to score a few. No one has Eze. Actually, no. Who did we say? Munoz. Yeah, Munoz can score for everyone. Just one. Not too many, because I don't have him in my team. I've got no Palace players. I'll support the chat. Does Jesus have high risk of losing his spot, though? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. He's obviously a minutes risk in the future. Wissa's not. So if you're scared about that, go Wissa. Yeah, mate. Suku, Odegaard down to Gordon looks good. I think give Odegaard 1 more week. And then think about Cunha, whether you want to keep him or not. Like, he could easily be someone you bring down to a Wissa or a Jesus, as we've been talking about. And I think, yeah, your defence spot, it's good to have 4 million like fodder. Like, just taking that space on the bench. Like, don't worry about it. Just leave him there. You don't need him. You can have a good rotation of 4 defenders. You're going to play Van Dijk and Gabriel most weeks, so you'll just be rotating Kirkes with Robinson, Einar, or Lewis Hall. Jackers, Webster. So hopefully that's helpful. Sixu, give me a shout if you've got further questions. I love that you've also got Ramsdale in there, by the way. Just to do stuff high risk. So with I think he has more risk of being moved to the right wing and playing on the wing and Havertz through the centre. But I think like if he keeps returning, like he obviously got 3 goals in the Carabao Cup, the FPL Cup, then 2 goals and assists in the league, then blanked and then got a goal and assist. So if he keeps returning, he's going to keep starting. Arsenal are going to need to find a way of getting goals from open play, so Arteta's more than likely going to keep starting him the longer he stays in form. Havertz has obviously been able to play in that midfield role as well. That gives them more attacking threat. The only thing I could say is like, you know, I think it would be a while before Jesus gets rotated out of that team. I would be surprised. And if he does, then Arteta's just a new Guardiola you just can't trust anymore. Which he sort of is. He's a bit annoying. But yeah, if you're scared of that, go Wissa. Wissa's minutes are solid. But just make sure that you're not looking to bring in Mbeumo into your team, because I think Mbeumo's a great option. We're obviously like talked about the fixture difficulty. Obviously, I have my own fixture difficulty, which is much better than the FPL FDR one. 60. How does I pronounce that name, mate? Is it SXQ or 6Q? Or am I just, I don't know. Is it, what's your name? Where does your name come from? How do you create that name? Is my pronunciation really that bad? Yeah, Jacko is also like, if you just look at the fixture runs, like Brentford, look at that like, looking quite nice and even like Southampton, Man City, really nice. Man City's a good fixture. Liverpool's a tough one, and then those 4 are all good. Everton, not worse. Villa's not the worst. Bournemouth's probably not that easy, and then like after that it gets a little bit more difficult from 29. And then same way we say for 5 minutes, by the way, guys, left to deadline. Please make all your transfers, put all your questions in the chat quickly, and I'll do quick fire answers now, nothing this long. And then Jesus, Arsenal obviously have such a nice fixture until 26. Like, look at that from an attacking perspective. Man City is also a pretty good fixture. Aston Villa have just lost Pau Torres, so that might affect them defensively unless Tyrone Mings comes back full swing. So, I mean, that's such a nice fixture for Arsenal from an attacking perspective. Be nice to have somebody. That's what I went to see, because he's cheap Arsenal attacker. He's obviously going to be in the right positions looking for those goals. Also, good differential in a good team. Nice to have a differential in a good team. One of the top 3 teams. Sekou. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. French name. Sekou. Okay, cool, man. Nice. Nishan, hey bro, nice to see you. Who'd start, Munoz or Saliba? We are Munoz fans in this chat. My resident Crystal Palace expert has been in this chat saying Munoz is the man. Get him in the team. So yeah, we're going Munoz, and if I'm wrong, fight him, not me. That resident Crystal Palace expert is my brother, FYI. So we have been giving him a lot of chat on stream. Save your teams, everyone. Yeah, 3 minutes to go till the deadline. 3 minutes till the deadline. Save teams. Make sure you've got the right captaincy options. Here's mine. I will refresh my team. Any questions now? Quick fire answers only. 3 minutes to go. Salah is my captain. Isak is my vice captain. All of the, it doesn't matter really who's on the bench. I could play Rodgers and Timber. None of these. I've got no players to play this week. Nervous about today now. Yeah, come on Palace. Come on Munoz. We've got hundreds of people relying on you, Munoz. Hundreds of people relying on you out. It'd be great if Palace won 1-0, wouldn't it? It should be top class. Top class. Munoz goal. Sarr assist. Mateo with the flick on. Guys, 2 minutes to the deadline. 2 minutes to the deadline. I don't know if Levu's still hanging around. happy to have a little chat afterwards if you guys want to talk about anything FPL related or just want to have a chat about a few things. It was quite fun last week doing that after with Lebu, so I can stay on for 5-10 minutes or something like that post stream. But if there are no questions, then I'll finish up and I'll go down and eat some proper dinner and wait for the Newcastle team news to come out with bated breath to make sure Hall, Gordon and Isak are all starting. And whoever told me that news about Gordon not starting is lying to me. 1 minute, guys. Lock your teams in. Lock your teams in right now. 1 minute to the deadline. Here's my team for you. Deadline is approaching. No Anthony Gordon rogue news that he's not playing. But I mean, if that comes out now, I'm going to be crying. There we are, 10 o'clock, deadline has passed. Sucks our benchman, Yoz in my 11. He's gone for it, he's gone for it. Alright guys, deadline's passed. The game is... Game's updating, is it? It's not doing anything at the moment, game's loading. The game is loading. The game is updating. There we go. Deadline has passed, guys. Let's go Palace. Let's go Palace. Let's go Munoz. Yeah, look, guys. I think probably not too much left for me to talk about. I know we didn't finish off, or maybe we did finish off that chip strategy. It's locked, Donzo. Any questions for me? Just general questions, happy to answer. Yeah, like I said, the sort of assistant manager I was looking around 31 to 33. That was just based off thinking there'd be a little double game week floating around there from the 29 EFL postponements that you could pick up. I think there are some other strategies. Just realised I've got you in head-to-head today, lads. Oh, you got me in head-to-head. Have you? That is not nice. You've been seeing my team this whole time. Ah, I can't see anymore. The game's loading. Can't see. I don't know what your team is. What's your team ID? Do you know your team ID, Al? You probably don't know. Probably. Actually, I can find it. I can find it because you're in my league. Let's get your team on stream. On Church of Munoz. Yeah, the Church of Munoz. Crap, what is my team ID? I should know this off by heart by now. I think it's that. I think it's that. Yeah, there I am. Let's find ya. No, they're updating them. Flipping site as well. Oh, well, if anyone cares, 44k overall for me. Looking nice. Liverpool game, hopefully not getting cancelled, mate. If it's getting cancelled, we're all in trouble, aren't we? We are all in trouble. I don't think so. Like weather warnings in the north, that's the most likely game of any to get cancelled. But yeah, I don't expect it to be. If it gets cancelled, mate, throw the game week in the garbage. Honestly, throw the game week in the garbage. Well, let's support Isak to score about 25 against Spurs if that's the case. You sent it to me earlier, your team, did you? Oh. Sorry, mate. Oh yeah, you sent it to me on WhatsApp. Come on, man, I'm on stream. It's hard to do all these things. Starting Quanta, I think, is the right shout, mate. I'm not convinced by you. This bench Sar for Munoz, mate. I'm not convinced, but I'm going with you. You're the one who's talking about it. You got loads of Chelsea, so you're screwed. Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, mate. You're losing the plot. Isaac Vice or Palmer? Yeah, I went Isak. The longer I sat on this stream chatting to all of you guys, You're slowly trying to convince me that Palmer was a better option. I don't know. I'm hoping that Palace play 3-4-2-1, and though the two defensive midfielders, one man marks Palmer. If they man mark Palmer, it will drift out to the right. It'll mean Enzo will get forwards a little bit more, and then Palmer will be a little bit more on the edges and the outskirts. Hopefully, Palace don't allow too much gaps between the lines. That's sort of where Palmer's been thriving in a lot of teams, especially when they haven't been man marking him. Yeah, I might stay up for that game. Is that 2 o'clock? Is that 2 o'clock? Yeah, I might stay up for that game. Sanchez, Munoz, Quansah, Gabriel, Hall, Palmer. I like the team, bro. Looks nice. Jackson, Watkins, Isak. Yeah, I probably would have started Sarr. Would have started Sarr over Munoz, mate, if it was me. But you're playing me in head-to-head, so... Anyway, we told everybody on the stream to start Munoz today, so... no, let's back that. If it's wrong, it's your fault, though, not mine. Sanchez in goal, yeah, that's interesting. Who have you got your bench goalie? Is it Fabianski? Oh yeah, it is Fabianski. I've got your team here now. See if Jorgensen starts for Chelsea or not. That could be an interesting one. Otherwise, you got no goalies this week. He could start. Jorgensen could start again. He started last week for Chelsea. At least you've got playing players, mate. I've got 11 playing players, and my bench is nothing. Yeah, Isak v Palmer. I think obviously Tottenham missing so many people defensively. Also, Udogi's out injured as well again. And Ange did mention that they had a bunch of illnesses in the team. He didn't say who they were, so I don't know if we stay on until 10:30 is a bit of a long time. I'm going to be starving. We leave loads of gaps between the lines. We'll go heavy press today, I think. One of the three CBs need to step into Palmer. Someone needs to man mark Palmer. That is the way that he's been, I wouldn't say nullified, but reduced his sort of goal threat a little bit. Maresca's done what Guardiola used to do with Messi, and he's been pulling Palmer up wide and making the defensive midfielder follow him, and then that creates the space for Enzo pushing on into those gaps. And that's why they smoked Spurs early on, because Spurs had one holding midfielder and Enzo was just a monster of space the whole time. Quiet man marking Palmer. Where are you going? Yeah, he's going to have him on lockdown. I don't know, man. I think Palmer's a good option. I've obviously got him in my team, so if he does well, that's fine. Obviously, hopefully Salah outscores him, but yeah, Palmer's one of those guys who, if you play the wrong tactics against Chelsea, he can be really explosive. But I do feel like teams have started to work out how to not so much reduce it, not so much take away his impact, but reduce the impact that he's having on games, and force him to go deeper for the ball, which has been good. The class, by the way. Well, yeah, get him on Palmer. Get him to just snap his ankles. Yeah, we could go to 10:30, and then we get the Spurs. Well, let's see if there's any Spurs Newcastle late team news. In the meantime, I'll just FPL team early. Sorry, not late team news. Early team news. I'll leave my team on screen for those people who want to just jump in and see it. Tottenham Hotspur players started arriving today. Son, Dragusin, Bergval, Suma, Solanke, Johnson, Kulusevski, Reguilon, Murder, Madison. No Son or Madison for Spurs today. There's no way that is real team news. That is what I'm seeing. Is that real? That is actually mental. can't be real, man. Is this guy a reliable source? The Spurs win. They might have the illness. No illness. Son and Maddison both dropped. That is absolutely mental if that's real. Enzo been hella deep the last 2 games without Lavia. Yeah, I don't think he's been that deep. I do think that obviously when Lavia plays and Caicedo plays right back, that allows Caicedo to invert into that defensive midfield role and then Enzo obviously to go into the attacking midfield role. But I think what's been happening is ultimately like Cucurella has been inverting from left back to attacking midfield instead of Enzo, and then also like Gusto also inverts up into that role as well on the right hand side. But I think Enzo's still like, as part of the press that Chelsea have, they press in that 1-4 with Jackson up top and then like Enzo, Palmer and the 2 wingers, and they have that super high press. That's going to be tough for Palace to play through. They're going to have to play long over the top of that press, I think. I'm just going to ignore that latest comment from you, Al. This is not what I need on my stream. You think it's worth getting a double Everton midfield and forward for the double and wildcard the week after? Yeah, like I don't think so. Just because like Everton haven't been, like you'd have to see if Everton start improving. Maybe the only option that I would consider as an attacking option for Everton in that double would be Dwight McNeil and Armando Broja. Because like at the moment Everton just aren't scoring any goals, like no goals whatsoever. So for me, who's your Liverpool third after Salah, Trent? We have Alisson, Diaz, Gakpo, Rory, pick Jota if he takes a spot. It's Alisson for me. Like I can't. Once Jota gets fit, I can't trust Diaz or Gakpo to be playing both games in the double game week. So I just think Alisson is an easier bet. Plus, if Liverpool are playing Everton and Wolves, they could easily keep 2 clean sheets. Or if they're playing Everton and Bournemouth, also. So, or at least 1 clean sheet. Like Everton, they keep a clean sheet, man. So the other games, just an extra couple of points. But plus, I also like the Liverpool like defence, and I don't like my goalie, so I'd go for Alisson. But if you're looking for like searching for upside, Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo, that's still nice picks. Like Gakpo's obviously started the last 6 games for Liverpool, but again, Jota's not fully fit yet. So you see over the upcoming weeks. Yeah, I agree with my brother. You see over the upcoming weeks when he gets his fitness back, like that rotation is going to be more because it means that Diaz is not going to be able to rotate in that 9 role as much. Jota will be playing the 9 role with Núñez more, I'd expect, and then Diaz will be rotating the left wing role with Gakpo a little bit more. But obviously Gakpo's been in great form, but yeah, I can't see Liverpool keeping everybody happy unless they rotate those players. So yeah, for me it's the defender, but you can attack the upside if you want. I mean, Diaz often can come off the bench and score a goal, so yeah, a bit mental. I'm getting some. Yeah, there's actually some crazy team news coming out of Spurs that they basically got no one fit. Apparently they had 7 people training. They had a mad bug go through their camp. That's mad. You don't want to split your luck, 1 clean sheet, 1 return, rather than eggs on all different. Well, I just feel like I'm not. Well, I've already got Salah and I've already got Trent, so I don't feel like I'm splitting my luck. I almost feel like, I don't know. I think it's for my team particularly. I don't like my goalkeeper. I'm pretty happy with my midfield. So, and also like going forwards. I don't plan to use my wildcard till Gameweek 35 for the like wildcard into bench boost that I was talking about. So yeah, for me, for me, I wouldn't go that way. But if your team's structured differently, where you like your goalie and you keen to keep him long term, then bringing in like a Liverpool attacking option like a Diaz, for me, it might be Jota if he takes that number 9 spot. Maybe it'd be Jota, but right now it'd probably be Diaz for the biggest upside. Like, he could score 2 goals in a game, get you 15 points, and that's more than Alisson's going to get you in that 2 fixtures. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I definitely don't have a problem with it. Just not for my particular team. But I would say if your team suits that, you should go for the upside. But again, like, I don't like that wildcard being used that early. I think wildcard into bench boost is a really nice way of like making that bench boost even more beneficial. Man, do you know what? If I'd have seen that Spurs starting like Forster, Radicani, Archie Gray, Matters were ill. Forster not held on to start. Like, the Spurs team uses absolutely no one. I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about right now. I can't wait for the game. The Fraser Forster battling illness. Maddison was in training. That's good. Wow, this is going to be mental. I hope Newcastle batter them. My triple Newcastle. I wasted my bench boost on 2 City defence, 0 points. Fair enough. Yeah, I think you can definitely go to. You can definitely go to a Liverpool midfielder. I don't think that you necessarily need to wildcard the week after. Like, the week after 24 is Wolves in 25. The week after 25 is Man City in 26. Like, if Man City is still defending as poorly as they are, especially in transition, Liverpool could beat them like 10-0, 10-3. 4 points returned in the bench boost. Yeah, that is unfortunate, mate. Yeah, my mate who's a Newcastle fan has let me know about the Newcastle team. The Oracle Ball is trying to tell me things at the moment. The Oracle Ball is telling me stuff at the moment. Just changing colour consistently. Good, honest work. Yeah, I think we might as well run the next 13 minutes through to the team news for Spurs v Newcastle. Because that should come out at 10:30, which would be interesting. I'd love to see that Spurs starting lineup. Would be pretty funny. I think that'll be wild. Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, I can carry on talking about my chip strategy. I know I need to finish for you guys. So yeah, I thought like that was a good sort of week to use System Manager, 31 to 33. That was in that period where you get the small double, and then potentially you could end up getting like a double one week and a double in like 31, 32 and a double in 33. If, for example, like it was Liverpool and Arsenal, and one of them made like the quarterfinals of the the Champions League and the. Can we have your results predictions, please? Yeah, I haven't shown that. Nice one. Good thinking. These are my predictions for the week. For any of you that bet on football. Yeah, my results predictions for the week are Spurs, Newcastle, both teams to score, but we'll wait to see those official pages. Teams are out, are they? All right, hang on. Let's have a look. Where's the official pages? You got a link, Levu? Can you link it in the chat? I'm lost. I'm not seeing the lineups. I'll go to Spurs official. Oh my god, yeah, here we go. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Austin in goal. Look at this team. Look at this team. Austin, Pedro Porro, Dragusin, Gray and Spence. So the back four is what you'd expect their back four to be. Austin in goal. Forster's obviously hurt. Bergvall and Sarr is probably what I'd expect holding. That means that Kulusevski's going to play attacking midfield. Johnson on the right, Werner on the left, Solanke up top. Newcastle, please, you can't concede to this team. You can't concede to Timo Werner on the left wing. I know Brennan Johnson had a better game last week, and surely you can't concede to Timo and BJ. Kulusevski's the only one who's going to do anything. That is mental. That is mental. Wow, they have really suffered some injuries. Yeah, guys, I mean, Newcastle could run absolute rampant over that team. Absolutely rampant over that team. But, I mean, look, ultimately, like, the back four that were going to start were starting anyway. And really, like, you just got Austin in goal. The good thing is Isak, Hall and Gordon all start for Newcastle. So, which I'll put. Sorry, I flicked off the screen. So Newcastle, Dubravka in goal, Botman and Byrne centre backs. Livramento starts ahead of Trippier, despite them saying he's available. Trippier on the bench. Lewis Hall still at that left back role has been so good. Then you got Tonali, Joelinton and Bruno Guimaraes with Gordon and Murphy and Isak. Yeah, that's Newcastle's full strength really. Pope back on the bench or no? No, Pope's not back for the bench. Trippier bench, Willock, Barnes, Almiron on the bench. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's going to be an awesome game to watch. Awesome game to watch. I think there'll be goals. And hopefully it'll be one way. I wonder if Ange will still set up super attacking. Because that team, look at that team. Man, we got to support Ange, bro. Ange is an Aussie coach, man. Got to back the Aussie coach. Got to support him. Austin, who the hell is this Austin guy? I don't even know who he is. Look at that bench. Hang on a minute. Son and Maddison are on the bench. They must be ill, right? They must be ill. They must be part of this illness. Like, he must just be like, we won't start you because you're sick, but we might need you for 30 minutes at the end. That's got to be what that is. And Basuma. Actually, I would have expected Basuma to start, but Bergvall's been alright recently. There's no way they're dropping Son. If you drop and I'm sorry, mate. I know, like I like you. You're Aussie, but you can't be dropping Son Heung-min. You can't be dropping Son Heung-min. So it's got to be an illness. Got to be an illness. Back Ange. Got to be an illness. There's no way that can be the case. I literally have no idea who Whiteman is. Like, who is Whiteman? Who is this guy? Is he like the under 12s keeper? Drostakoglu waiting for the sack. Get in the bin now. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. Ange is the bomb. Let's have him. He'll go to Palace. He'll make your team attacking. Alright guys, look. 10:23. It's time for me to eat some food and go downstairs. Those are my predictions. These are the crazy team news. What are we hoping for this week? We're hoping for Newcastle 8-0. We're hoping for Palace, Munoz goal and clean sheet, 1-0 win. We're hoping for Salah to score 20 as usual.